fiber product and these other products. You get them separately or together and make really, really big savings and get high quality products at the same time. And I'm doing this to introduce these products to you. Bodease sold out in a month. Strongest concentrated turmeric formula we could come up with. It's sold out for another month and a half. We sold it at 50% off till it's sold out. And I think it's going to be the same way with this fiber. Get yours today, InfoWarsLife.com.
Climb to the top of the food chain with Alpha Power by InfoWars Life. For those who want to increase testosterone and energy levels. Most men know that testosterone levels begin to decline.
Sucking son of a bitch, I didn't ask you for that.
Starting around 30 at a rate of about 1 to 2% per year. This drop can show signs such as fatigue, low energy, low sex drive, and muscle loss. Alpha Power is packed with some of the most potent and clinically tested ingredients on the market. The secret is in the synergistic blend of ancient ingredients that have been concentrated into their most potent forms, including Eurycoma longifolia, originally from Malaysia, Macaru from Peru, horny goat meat from China, and Tribulus from India. Reach your alpha male potential with Alpha Power. Head to InfoWarsLife.com and secure your bottle today.
Whether you're looking to boost the benefits of our fish oil formula or just want an alternative, InfoWars Life has the formula for you. Ultimate Krill Oil is a powerhouse formula that takes advantages of the EPA, DHA, and omega-3s found in our high-quality, ultra-pure krill oil concentrate. Containing powerful antioxidants such as astaxanthin and omega-3s, Ultimate Krill Oil can help you experience the benefits of fish oil with less required DHA and EPA. This incredible formula can help your body in many ways, including supporting heart health, joint health, and cognitive health, aiding in regulating fat metabolism, helping to maintain cognitive function, and more. And while other krill oil formulas may chemically modify their formulas, we're giving you the benefits of a simple formula that contains unmodified high-quality krill oil concentrate, paired with our Ultimate Fish Oil or used separately. It's time to see what krill oil can do for you with Ultimate Krill Oil, now available at InfoWarsStore.com.
Let's talk to Victor in Florida. Victor, you're calling. Go ahead.
Yes. Hi, Alex. First, I just want to mention, if people just go and try the products, they will be ordering all the time. I've ordered several of the products over and over because it's amazing. In particular, Silver Bullet, as soon as I start to feel like I get a little sick, maybe like a little raspiness in my throat, I drop some Silver Bullet and I'll still feel a little sick, but it won't last as long. And I just ordered the Body, the Alpha Power, and the Pollen Block.
Well, let me just say something, Victor. It's people like you that then fund the whole operation, because a very small percentage of people buy products and a very small percentage of them buy a lot of the products. So thank you. But when you mentioned the Silver Bullet Colloidal Silver, it's got thousands of reviews, a 98% review. It is our highest reviewed product because it is from the top lab in the country, discounted high quality colloidal silver. And it's not a silver bullet. It's the closest thing you're going to find to a silver bullet.
You're listening to The Alex Jones Show. From the front lines of the information war, it's Alex Jones.
So, we always hear that Trump is this really mean person. He wants to shut down free speech. But he's not calling for shutting down anybody's free speech. It's the mainstream corporate media that wants all conservatives, all libertarians, all Christians, all veterans groups banned off the internet. We've got U.S. Senators Wyden and Warner and Murphy saying Alex Jones is only the beginning. Get rid of thousands. Get rid of Rush Limbaugh. We have the Federal Election Commission persecuting anybody that donates to Republicans. We have the IRS going after churches and Christian groups. We have a reign of terror and bullying going on. But then we've got Joe Biden with all of his corruption and protecting Bill Clinton, who protected Al-Qaeda, and then supporting the Arab Spring under Obama and Hillary, and Uranium One and the KKK background of the Democrats, saying that he wants to pick a fight with bullies, meaning Trump and their supporters. No, you're the ones beating us over the head with bike locks, throwing coffee on us, shooting Congressman Scalise, calling for Trump's overthrow, calling for the economy to be destroyed so that we can stop Trump. That's the Democrats. But now he says we're the dregs of society. Let's look up the definition of dregs. It means winos, drug addicts, pickpockets, thugs, child molesters, murderers, ex-convicts, the lowest of the low. The remains of liquid left in a container together with sediment or grounds, the most worthless parts of something. The crap inside intestines. You can take pig intestines and make chitlins. You got to clean out the crap, boil the guts, and then fry them. I've had it. It's a Southern dish. But the dregs would be the guts. You'd throw out the dregs. So if you go to a Democratic Party function or a liberal event, they look like they're dead. They look like they've been beaten in the head with a baseball bat. They stumble around. Most people can hardly talk. And I don't feel powerful when I see a group of Democrats. I feel sorry for them. And that's why they're really censoring conservatives and nationalists off of Facebook and Twitter and YouTube. Because we would all, even under censorship, we used to have videos with 30, 40 million views. Under censorship, routinely 1 million, 2 million views. Going out and just pointing a camera at a crowd of Democrats with the F your mother, white people are monkeys, subhumans. You know, we're going to kill you. And then you go to the next person and the next person and the next person and the next person and the next person, and they all sound like something out of a Hellraiser movie. So when he calls us dregs, think about the projection that Joe Biden's involved in, because Hillary in the WikiLeaks calls her supporters worthless, dumb, stupid, baristas that want something more from her when they're lazy, living in their mom's basement, close quote. Trump says, I want to get you out of your mom's basement. I believe in you, whether you're white or black. And you see him try to move us an economy back and have a culture of working, and they flip out and say, he's a loser, he's a crazy man, he's the worst thing since gonorrhea. So let's start going to this Joe Biden piece. Joe Biden refers to Trump supporters as dregs of society. Here he is.
Have an ally. They're a small percentage of the American people, virulent people. Some of them the dregs of society.
So there's your dregs of society clip. Now let's go to a larger clip where he talks about the KKK riding through the night with burning torches, and they're coming to get you, like they're telling ghost stories to little kids, and they're the people that hate you if you're gay, and they're the people that hate you if you're black. But here's the good news. Americans, no matter what color they are, where they came from, are figuring out that the Trump economy is a lot better, that the establishment is against Trump. So let's go ahead and start going to this.
Already supported gay marriage. But this onslaught that we're seeing does require us not only to be vigilant, but be more aggressive and demand more of our leaders who represent basic American values of respect, decency, equality, giving hate no safe haven.
Pause. Giving hate no safe haven. That means anything they define, the Second Amendment, the nuclear family, saying he or she, being banned in the U.S., Canada, Sweden, being masculine, being feminine, whatever they want to define as something they want to attack, they say, don't give your speech safe haven. Believe me, we know, bullies, you're not giving speech a safe haven. Let's continue.
We hold these truths self-evident. All men are created equal, endowed by their creator. Sounds corny when you say it. But the American people, basically in their gut, we've never met it. But that's the aspiration, and they're not giving up on it.
I said, pause again. It's true that those great ideas have never been met, but the idea of meeting it has brought us further than many other nations. In fact, probably more than anybody. the American system. So why are we the bad guys? Why do we have to be the Nazis? Why do we have to be the evil folks when our history doesn't show that? But again, this is coming to you from the Democratic Party and somebody that literally was under Senator Byrd, who was a Grand Dragon in the KKK and the Democratic Party. But he thinks you have no memory. Let's continue.
You know, Barack and I agreed to remain silent for a while to give this administration a chance to get up and running the first year.
Then pause again. Back it up 10 seconds. They were never quiet through their surrogates. It came out in all the different documents and lawsuits and FBI files that the Democrats, led by Obama, Hillary, and others, have been orchestrating the fake PP-Gate dossier. They've been launching the attacks on Trump. They've been trying to block everything. Oh, but they gave him a chance. They tried to make him succeed. The media, the Democrats, you know, gave Trump that honeymoon period that every other president got. No, there was no honeymoon period. They tried to keep him from getting his delegates. They tried to keep him from even becoming the president. They tried to riot and block the entrances to his inauguration and then lied about who was there. Everything Biden says is a lie. Continue.
Not giving up on it. You know, Barack and I agreed to remain silent for a while to give this administration a chance to get up and running the first year. God forgive me.
Oh, yeah, right.
Fucking pedo bastard.
Hear that
I
swamp?
cannot remain silent after Charlottesville. No, I want to be deadly earnest with you about this.
All right, let's hit pause again. We're going to come back with the rest of this. Charlottesville, one woman run over. God bless her. By a crowd attacking a car, and the guy guns it and runs over her. And I point out that George Soros funded Antifa. The police stood down. You have the alt-right people who most of them used to work for the Democrats, clearly feds. You have this big production they do. Trump says both sides are bad. Antifa's bad. And I think KKK type folks, KKK light's bad. But he said it's Antifa that attacked, which is totally true. And then, oh, this is their big thing. This guy funded the Arab Spring that killed millions of people. Biden, his son, runs part of Ukraine, all the stolen natural gas there. He's a monster. But he sits there and says America's ethos is the KKK. No, it's your ethos. Alpha Power, vital male androgen biosynthesis promoter. Now, I've got page after page after page of the science, of the research, and the facts on the ingredients in Alpha Power. But here's what you want to know. You want to go to InfoWarsStore.com and read the hundreds and hundreds of 5-star third-party reviews on this product. And also remember that when it came out 4 months ago, it sold out in 3 weeks. Because people that know about these type of products looked at the ingredients list and looked at the potency list, and people went crazy. We set out to look at the already best-selling brands out there and make it even better, even stronger, and basically souped up. It's got the best of ancient science with the latest developments as well. It's Alpha Power. And quite frankly, I don't even really need to take Alpha Power. If I take Alpha Power, which I do occasionally, if I feel down or don't feel like I have a lot of energy, it makes me have incredible stamina, amazing libido, and also I already have not really anger issues, but I'm a little bit aggressive sometimes. And so Alpha Power is so strong that I personally don't take it a lot. I'm not going to sit here and tell you, oh man, it's really great, it really works. I'm going to tell you, be careful with Alpha Power, because I said I want to dominate the industry. I want people to know that we put the most money into this of any other product out there. I'm going to explain this because this is critical. The average supplement, you can look this up online, there's industry publications, Wall Street Journal, has a 5 to 7 times markup. That's a 500 to 700% markup. Our average markup is about 130% or so. Some are 90%, some are 150. You got marketing, other costs that go in. But here's an example. The average male or female enhancement over-the-counter supplement has some real stuff in it. It just has a little bit in it. Many times the bottle, this is a nice glass bottle, costs more than the ingredients that these companies put out. Because I work with the top 4 formulators in the country, and they say, listen, no one puts as much as you do into these. They said your leading competitors might put $6, $7 in, and you're putting $15, $20, $30, $40, depending on the product, in them. Nobody else does that. Well, we do, and that's why they're so powerful. Bottom line, you're getting top of the line supplements that people absolutely love, that have blown me away, that fund the info war, and we are industry leaders in quality testing and the amount of the best product that we put into the product that ends up getting delivered to your door. So you get the best supplements at the very, very best price, and you fund the info war that's given the whole world incredible results against the globalists. A 360 win. Again, Alpha Power sold out for months. The second shipment is now in at InfoWarsLife.com or InfoWarsStore.com or by calling 888-253-3139. A total 360 win.
After the success of Alpha Power, we decided to make a new Powerhouse Vitality formula built with the female biochemistry in mind. After searching for the incredible ingredients to meet those needs, we're proud to bring you Ultimate Female Force. All Info Warriors know how important keeping up with their vitality truly is. With all the changes to diets, stress, and other outside forces, keeping your metabolism and well-being up is getting more difficult. That's why Ultimate Female Force is such a powerhouse formula. Together with Super Female Vitality or by itself, Ultimate Female Force is just what you need to help boost your metabolism and support your physical and mental energy levels. With the powerful root-based formula, Ultimate Female Force can help you reach your true peak potential. Don't wait to see what you can really do. Show the world what true female power looks like with Ultimate Female Force at InfoWarsStore.com.
You're listening to The Alex Jones Show. Waging war on corruption. It's Alex Jones.
So Joe Biden came out and he went beyond saying that Trump supporters are deplorable. He went on to basically, well, I mean, here's the exact quote, the dregs of society, which we already played. So getting back into his speech, he talks about the KKK riders and their hoods in the night. And like they're galloping like you're in the woods, and here comes the evil rider to get you. Total fear-mongering. And is it lost on society that the Democrats were the party of the KKK? Is it lost on everybody that they're the ones creating racial division in America at every level? And again, it's even in their own WikiLeaks that they want to create racial division to control people, because they're not going to give you jobs. They're not going to give you a future like all the blue cities. They're going to give you poverty. They're going to give you enslavement. They're going to give you being domesticated. The good news is you look at the Democratic Party, they're led by Nancy Pelosi, who can hardly talk. They're led by Joe Biden, who looks like he was a dead body at the morgue that somebody hooked electricity up to, that was reanimated for the speech. And he's spewing all the same old garbage. And so that's the good news, is that people are sick of this and they're tired of it and they see through it. But Joe Biden is still a clear and present danger, because he's not going to ever stop until he realizes that you're not buying into it. Because as I said earlier, when they overthrew Ukraine, George Soros 5 years ago, his son took control of the $10 billion gas company that comes out of Russia. And he now makes hundreds of millions a year, his son. That's an example of the criminal looting. They're not going to stop till the last minute, because they're stealing the whole time. That's why they're never going to back down. They're never going to give up. And they're also like cornered rats. So there's no end to what they will do now. They are so dangerous. They are so evil. Let's continue.
That's why I wrote an article in Atlantic Magazine entitled "The Battle for America's Soul," because that's, I don't clap, or you can boo if you want, but don't clap. But I'm serious. I'm serious. This is about This is about basic decency. The idea that goons could come out of fields at night with lighted torches, carrying Nazi flags, chanting the same exact anti-Semitic bile that was chanted in the streets of Nuremberg and Berlin.
Let's hit pause again. Look at how he drools the same anti-Semitic bile that was chanted in the streets of Germany. When it was George Soros, who was the Nazi collaborator and is the main funder of the Democrats, when it's Juncker, whose family was the richest family in Germany as Nazis who run the EU today, that was a Hitler plan, when they're the ones using racial division. But they've got it set up in Hollywood like, if you're American and you're pro-freedom and you're pro-Second Amendment and you're pro-free market, you are a Nazi. And now you saw where a guy at the Coast Guard headquarters, being pro-Trump, did this sign, and they removed him, fired him off the job. And the Coast Guard apologized for the Nazi sign. Well, I say that the Apple sign, which we're getting rid of in the company, because it's so fascist working with China now, I say it's a sign that supports China that kills more people than Hitler ever did. So I say I don't want to see the Apple sign, because to me it's offensive. But see, that's not going to happen. Plus, I don't want to get rid of symbols. They just want to be able to say whatever symbols they want are evil and remove whatever they want, because they're at war with language. Because tyranny is something that isn't popular and people don't want it, so they have to sabotage it. Let's go ahead and go back to Joe Biden.
Carrying Nazi flags, chanting the same exact anti-Semitic bile that was chanted.
Yeah, it took me forever.
All three leaders worked for Obama within 1 year, Hillary. And then they all suddenly went from being big university operators with parents in the Democratic Party, some of them in intelligence groups, to going out marching around with torches, dressed in 1930s outfits, so that people think Nazis are invading. And how many times has the Southern Poverty Law Center, and ADL, and others been caught posing as Nazis? How many times? I got a stack of news where Muslims have been caught in the U.S. and Canada this week staging attacks on themselves that they did. Let's go back to Joe Biden.
In Berlin and every other German city in the 30s. Get serious, guys. So hush up. This is deadly earnest.
Yes, the Nazis are
We
here.
are in a fight for America's soul. And we have leaders who at the time when that occurred, when these guys were accompanied by white supremacists and Ku Klux Klan and those who objected, making a comparison saying they're good people in both groups. What has become of us? Our children are listening, and our silence is complicity.
Our silence is complicity. You know, Trump got a briefing to Charlottesville from Homeland Security who had agents there, and they said, sir, it was some reporters on both sides, some pro-peace people on one side, Antifa's bad, and then some Nazis on the other side that were bad. So Trump goes, well, the Nazis were bad, and so was the Antifa was bad, and there were good people on both sides as well. That was given to him in the briefing. You had a bunch of people out there to cover it, a bunch of peace people, a bunch of right-wing pro-free speech people, and then you had some Nazis and some Antifa that, yeah, I think we all agree are unsavory folks. But that's how this works. Well, good job of the crew. They actually found the photo. I remember that, of Trump being briefed on Charlottesville. He didn't know what it was. He went and said, what is this? They said, here it is, sir. So he went out there. But imagine in America, the communist Chinese have killed 100+ million people. They've done that. Their own people. Never a word about them. Never about Apple and slave factories and suicide nets. Never about Google helping round up political dissidents. It's all about America and Nazis and Charlottesville, and the people with torches, all 20 of them, are coming to get you, and you better do what Joe Biden says are the Nazis will get you. This is how stupid they think you are. And really, what it was the art club from a couple local universities with guys that get Southern Poverty Law Center money coming out in court, who just all dress up like Nazis to go scare the hell out of everybody and go after Trump. That's what the left is. They're a drama club. They are thespians. They are actors. It's what they do. It's what they constantly get caught doing, and they don't want us to know that. Anderson Cooper stood in water up to his chest in a ditch to say the houses were flooded when they weren't. The Weather Channel was being blown all over the place. People calling behind him. It was fake. It's what they do. They are the fraud. And they don't want you asking questions. They don't want you talking about it. They want to put out their fake info and have you go into suspended disbelief and have you believe that it's all real. But once somebody's awake to a scam, they never go back. And that's what they don't get. There is going to be a big, giant red wave. The question is, will the seawall of the Democratic Party, will the Democratic Party be able to build a big enough wall to block that seawall with election fraud and the rest of it? I'm going to keep fighting to the end regardless. I don't know if you are, but I sure as hell am. I'm conscious. I'm not dead yet.
As the years go by, it gets harder and harder to keep up with your body's nutritional needs. With changes in diet, unnatural ingredients, and stress, you may not be able to get all the necessary nutrients, amino acids, vitamins, and minerals needed daily. That's why InfoWars Life created the powerful Vitamin Mineral Fusion formula. The new platinum standard of advanced multivitamin formulation, Vitamin Mineral Fusion uses a unique delivery system to maximize the effects and give your body the tools it needs to support your body. Using a proprietary process, we've managed to make this powerhouse formula into a delicious concentrated drink mix that's loaded with high-quality ingredients. Perfect for a hot summer day or relaxing at home, Vitamin Mineral Fusion is loaded with 34 different essential vitamins, minerals, amino acids, and more. Start supporting your body's needs in a great-tasting, natural, and affordable drink mix with Vitamin Mineral Fusion today. Available at InfoWarsStore.com.
Let's go ahead and go to Lloyd in Washington. You're on the air. Thanks for holding.
Mr. Alex Jones.
Hey, brother.
Sir.
Good, man. Thanks for calling.
Hey, I just want to say thanks for your products and everything that you're doing to try to save the country. I've tried your Secret 12, Super Male, Anthroplex, the Silver Bullet, Biome Defense, Myco ZX. It's all good stuff. Secret 12, if everybody would just drop their energy drinks and get some Secret 12, take a shot of that.
Well, that's the thing about Secret 12. Just a half a dropper has way more energy, and it's totally, people ask, why is it sweet? Real organic B12 is sweet. And exactly, if I'm super tired, I go, hey, why am I drinking coffee at 10 at night if I'm going on some show like Coast to Coast? Boom, Secret 12, 30 minutes later, massive energy. It's amazing.
Yeah, that stuff will wake you up, and the clarity of mind that comes along with that is just amazing.
Super Silver Wound Gel uses Silver Salt technology. There's been extensive research on Silver Salt technology. This research includes 20-plus safety reports and test series, as well as the first ever double-blind FDA-cleared human ingestion toxicity study. This formula is 24 ppm. That's 32 ppm version is FDA cleared as a prescription medical device. Similar products sell for $40 or more. It's one of the only OTC products that direct claims against MRSA. You don't want that. And VRE, two of the most deadly forms of bacteria that can cause infection. Great for first and second degree burns, including sunburn. The Super Silver Wound Gel is essential armor for your wounds. The barrier protection can last up to 3 days on the skin, helping to eliminate the chance of infection. It's perfect for athletes of all ages in all areas of sports. Super Silver Wound Gel.
Fueling your body is hard work. That's why we've introduced the InfoWars Life Daily Digestive Pack to help you fuel it right. Combine Flora Life Everyday Maintenance and Carnivore to help you fuel your gut and body and take advantage of the powerful nutrients you receive. There's no better way to power your body. Flora Life is a powerful probiotic supplement with 20 of the most potent clinically studied probiotic strains. When paired with Carnivore, our incredible enzyme formula that helps you break down nutrients, these formulas fuel your gut and your body to help you fight toxins and stay fueled all day. These incredible formulas can help keep your body in tip-top shape in the fight against stress, age, and outside toxins. There's no better time to try Flora Life and Carnivore to see how well they can support your body. Don't miss out on the chance to fuel your body and support recovery. Try the InfoWars Life Daily Digestive Pack today.
You're listening to The Alex Jones Show.
Come on, what in the hell is going on with my camera? It's because of the damn whatchamacallit.
You can run on for a long time, run on for a long time, run on for a long time. Sooner or later, gotta cut you down.
Alex Jones back live, broadcasting worldwide. I want to get into what's happening right now with the attempt to confer Brett Kavanaugh to the Supreme Court and how they float this whole thing about 35 years ago in high school. He might have jumped on top of a girl at a drunk party. And now they've got the person going public. I have personally experienced mainstream media go out and offer people money to lie about me. And when you see it in print, you know how criminal these groups are. And the fact that Democrats believe it's their duty to go out and make things up. When you see something like this, it doesn't hold any water. In fact, we're going to get to it here in just a moment, but it's amazing the lengths to which this stuff will happen. And maybe this woman even believes it. We're going to get to that here in just a moment. But first, it's important to understand that I'm not really worried about me being deplatformed off of 90 plus platforms now. I'm concerned because it's concerted and it's corporate and it's being done to many, many other people in unison. And by them picking InfoWars out to do it and building a straw man, it distracts from the fact that it is monopolistic, it is racketeering, it is very, very dangerous what's going on by any yardstick. And the addled, tepid, sluggish, sloth-like response by the Republicans is horrifying. I haven't even gotten to this yet. We've got screenshots and we've got IT people that gave us a report, and I'll put it out tomorrow, and it's an exclusive. But we actually had software that we used banned over the weekend. And I've talked to lawyers about this. This is definitely illegal, definitely racketeering. I mean, it's unbelievable. And it deals with Apple. And, you know, I'll try my best because there's a target fixation that goes on in warfare where you'll get fixated on your target and then not even pay attention to what's happening to you. The famous case is people flying aircraft strafing, say, a train or a truck, and they'll fly into the vehicle. They'll just keep and fly into it. And we got a great crew here. They're great people. But it's kind of like, I learned about this on Friday, confirmed it with IT. It's the biggest story yet in our censorship. But see, just like the public's supposed to get conditioned to being censored and blacklisted and banned, by InfoWars being in tens of thousands of articles, they're supposed to wear us out psychologically. Finally, when they start doing stuff like killing the software we use, it's like, so what? Everybody knows we're getting banned. So what? They took Alex away and killed him too. You know, we knew it was coming. And it's just like that globalist told me that time off record. He's one of the heads of one of the big banks, it was the fourth largest bank at that time. He said, Alex, you're going to adapt to being a slave. People don't adapt to fighting it. He said, you will lose. And you know what? Maybe he's right. And then those of us that don't prey on you, we're the mentally ill ones. Because what the predators will tell you is, general public are just failed predators. And if you help them, they'll just tear you apart. But you know what? My soul tells me that's wrong, and I'm not going to act like that. But it's very, very frustrating, to say the least. And what they're doing to us is so sick. All of it scientifically directed. So who knows? We may never even tell you. Hell, they might just shut us down. We won't even do an article. Hell, no one will. You know, by the time they actually shut us down, there won't even be a story. They take me out and shoot me in the back of the head. By then, it's like, that's old news. They're going into people's phones and killing programs that came with the phones, so you can't visit Infowars.com. But everybody still got their food. Everybody still can go home and watch television, so who cares? Exactly. Exactly. And that's why we fail. That's why we die. And I just watch us being incrementally enslaved, and I'm upset about it. And I'm supposed to see how that works and join it and farm you. I'm supposed to serve the globalist so I get life extension technology and I get cybernetic enhancement down the road. And I'm supposed to revel in how dumb you are. See? But instead, I get to be the bad guy because I'm trying to save you. Because I have some type of connection to you. It's beyond amazing. So people ask, you know, why is your broadcast banned? Why are they trying to ban it? Because of what we're covering, and because they're going to go ahead and make that move, and because they want to set the precedent. But I know this. I look at people that have decided to make these evil decisions, and they are the most unhappy, twisted, physically ugly people on earth. So let me tell you, metaphysically, culturally, and a gut level, I know not to join them. But the public needs to stand up for their own self-preservation. Now, this is funny for radio listeners, but it's really funny if you're a TV viewer at Infowars.com/show or on TV stations around the country. Because this is a piece that Drew and Savannah put together a month and a half ago, and our app went to #1 on Apple and on Android. And then after it went to #1, they just removed the Apple one that had 2 million downloads. The Android's still there at Infowars.com/app. But this is us making a joke out of what they did. But we knew the next move would be block Infowars.com at the browser level. And that has now begun. And Infowars will not be the one that breaks it. I'm going to let the enemy go ahead and do it now. No one cares around here. That's fine. I love it too. Great. Fun. Yeah. Close our doors. So we'll let the enemy break it. And let's see how it's a private company. You bought that phone. So they're blocking visiting Infowars.com on an Apple phone. That's what they're doing now. And it's cute and it's fun and it's neat and it's great. And so here it is. Here's the clip.
Hey guys, my name is Savannah Hernandez, and if you're always on the go like me, then you're not always tied to your computer or TV. So we just released our free Infowars official app. The InfoWars official app includes all of our live broadcasts like War Room with Owen Schroyer, Real News with David Knight, and the holy grail of podcast and radio, The Alex Jones Show. And the best part about the InfoWars official app is that every single time we go live, you get notifications so that you never miss a beat. So whether you're in the car or on a run, this app makes it easy to keep the InfoWars right in your pocket. So what are you waiting for? Download.
Not so fast, InfoWars. Apple banned your app.
I help too.
Oliver.
I hate free speech too. We hate free speech. We hate free speech. We hate free speech. We hate free speech.
But I can tell you, millions download the app, then they take it out of the store. Congress does nothing. Well, that's so illegal. Next, they're going to go in and take the app off your phone. Next, they're going to block the InfoWars RSS feeder on Apple, which they've already done. That's the breaking news. And just everything else. And see, by the time they get to the real censorship, the real extermination of freedom, it's just laissez-faire a lot. Because you've already gotten yourself ready to accept that. And so, see, by the time you've done that, oh, it's like Think Progress is being banned. Well, okay, that's all right, too. You know, as long as the good old neocon boys over at the CIA do it, as long as, you know, because nobody reads the Weekly Standard, everybody hates them. So what's the power structure do? Oh, put them in charge of censoring the left. And the left won't defend the right won't defend the left, and then it's game over. Well, that's not the truth. We're winning, big red wave's coming, but folks have to really realize we're 2 minutes to midnight, and now is the time to get on your knees to Jesus. We'll be right back with the second hour. Look at that. Everybody else is just like yellow or clear. That's because it's been denatured, it's been watered down. We didn't do that. You think I would metaphysically sell you something that is the very best I can get? I'd rather go to hell than do that. I will only give you the maximum best info, the maximum truth, the maximum product, because I want that goodwill. What I do to you, I do to myself. Don't you get the big secret? You ever seen fish oil look like that? No, you never seen that, have you? And this little jewel right here is solid liquid consciousness. Look it up. Find out how even the FDA and the government admits fish oil is incredible. The number one thing anybody can do for themselves is take good fish oil or krill oil. Just like our information's dynamite, so are our products, InfoWarsStore.com. Extendowise, the latest product from InfoWarsLife.com, fuses all the known compounds that have been proven to be good for our hearts and cardiovascular system. And listen, everybody's got a heart. Well, actually, maybe Hillary and George Soros don't, but everybody else has a heart, and this product is amazing. So if you have a heart, you want the very best product out there that's designed to aid a healthy heart, cardiovascular system, it's Extendowise, available at InfoWarsLife.com. And like all of our products are game changers, this baby is the most souped up, awesome version the top formulators can come up with and still be affordable. It's one of the very best heart pills out there. It's Extendowise. So get some for yourself and family and friends. It's got the very best fish oil from the fjords. It's very, very pure, very, very clean, and has the EPA type that is specifically good for the heart, cardiovascular system. It's got the properly formulated type of CoQ10 and more. It is Extendowise, now available at InfoWarsLife.com.
If you are receiving this transmission, you are the resistance. Live from the Infowars.com studios, you're listening to The Alex Jones Show.
So, about 5 months ago, the EU introduced legislation to ban memes. Seriously, because their AI can't scan it, it doesn't get humor, so they can't censor it. And so they go, oh, it's copyright, it's got to be reviewed by the EU, or there's multi-million euro fines. And then now they passed it. So first the media said, oh, it'll never happen. Now, of course, it's happened. EU killing legislation that is designed to destroy the internet. Here is part of the report from John Bound.
EU Parliament recently put the internet, at least in Europe, on a path towards certain corporate Orwellian doom.
This discussion is bedeviled by all sorts of artificial media twit storms and hysteria of one kind or another. There's a very good argument against the lack of democracy in the EU.
Isn't it funny? You know, when I came here 17 years ago, and I said that I wanted to lead a campaign to get Britain to leave the European Union, you all laughed at me. Well, I have to say, you're not laughing now, are you? The main reason the United Kingdom voted the way that it did is you have, by stealth, by deception, without ever telling the truth to the British or the rest of the peoples of Europe, you have imposed upon them a political union.
Article 11, also known as the link tax, forces anyone linking an article of more than one word to a news story to pay for a service that licenses the article. That news site can, according to The Verge, charge anything they want for the right to quote them, or refuse to sell altogether, effectively giving them the right to choose who can criticize them. While Article 13, also known as the upload filter, requires all but the smallest platforms will have to defensively adopt copyright filters that examine everything you post and censor anything judged to be a copyright infringement, according to the Electronic Frontier Foundation. And if that wasn't enough to bring the free flow of information to a grinding halt, typical social media posts like a selfie taken at a football game have been targeted by Article 12A. No posting your own photos or videos of sports matches. Only the organizers of sports matches will have the right to publicly post any kind of record of the match. No posting your selfies or short videos of exciting plays. You are the audience. Your job is to sit where you're told, passively watch the game, and go home, according to the EFF. Also, a freedom of panorama exemption wasn't accepted. For example, if you take a selfie on a busy street and licensed material happens to be in your shot, whether it's a t-shirt, a licensed architectural design, aka a building, or a billboard, you will be infringing on a copyright. Also not covered. Anything we regard in America as fair use. No user-generated content exemption, which would have made EU states carve out an exception to copyright for using excerpts from works for criticism, review, illustration, caricature, parody, or pastiche.
EU Army to increase ranks 7-fold. I remember 10 years ago saying there's a secret plan for an EU Army because it had actually come out in documents. It had actually gotten documents from someone inside Bilderberg. They were discussing an EU Army to stop countries from having their own borders, and they were going to flood Europe with North Africans and Islamists out of the Middle East. It's all true. It all happened. Of course, it was real documents we got. Then a guy who works at the National Archives brought me secret Bilderberg documents the next year confirming it all. We published them all. I did get death threats. Now, but Juncker, when you look at the unelected head of the EU, that England didn't vote to enter, but they're in, the UK, he is the grandson. His father was a top Nazi. His grandfather was the richest guy in Germany. All right, folks, we'll be back. The full John Bound report is on Infowars.com. EU internet killing legislation. It's really important. We'll be back with Eric Bolling confronted with 9/11 truth. Stay with us. Frank in North Carolina, thanks for holding so long. Go ahead.
Yeah, Alec, I just have to say something, man. It seems like every time I turn on your broadcast, you're bragging. It just gets old, man.
I'm going to shut you down right now, okay? We're taking calls about your nomination. Do you understand they're having congressional hearings trying to shut us down? Do you understand I'm ringing the alarm? If that was happening to anybody else, I'd be freaked out. I mean, what's it going to take? Us being shut down? Is that what you want, Frank?
You know what, Alex?
Hey, put him on pause again. Hey, Frank, do you understand it's not bragging to say we are the tip of the spear, we're under attack, we need your help? As much begging as I do, we can barely pay the bills and grow in the face of this. I'm not going to just stop growth and let them start pushing us backwards. You understand? I need your help, Frank. I need your help, Frank.
Go to InfoWarsStore.com right now and help fund the InfoWars.
Do you understand? I need your help, Frank. Ladies and gentlemen, we had formerly with Fox News, Eric Bolling, economist, good friends with Trump, now with CRTV. We had Eric Bolling in studio. He was going to come on about the economy and about how Trump's ideology is making America great, standing up to big corporate bullies. Instead of the media saying he has no soul, but Bolling wanted to virtue signal to the mainstream media and say, aren't you all right? They're racist. And I'm like, that's a Hillary Clinton talking point. And, oh, you think the government did 9/11? And I'm like, yeah, the 28 pages, criminal elements of our government, allied with Saudi Arabia, stood down. I've had Senator Paul on. I've had Congressman Jones on. I've had former deputy directors and former heads of PSYOP of the CIA on. This is a well-known animal. Doesn't mean radical Islam doesn't exist. And he just was like, no, I can't believe it. You know, there were real people down there. Yeah, we know real people died. Real planes flew in. All I'm saying is if you go look at the evidence of Building 7 or of BBC and CNN reporting they were going to blow up Building 7, 47-story building. That happened. Later they said it never happened. So the point is it needs to be investigated. And it turns out within days of the event on 3 different shows, then real estate mogul, now President Trump, said he thought there were bombs in the buildings, and his engineer who helped build the World Trade Center thought that. So Bolling was here, and I would mention this. He goes, oh, you don't have the clip. You know, I don't want to just hear it. Well, guess what? Now we have the clips, and here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Here is the report. I get blamed for every conspiracy theory that some crazy person made up.
I said I do not agree with you that the U.S. government, someone inside the government, had knowledge of the terror attack prior to the attack.
Oh, really? All over Twitter yesterday, mainline leftist sites celebrated and said America deserved it. Reality Winner had a top secret security clearance and was helping ISIS. There are so many. The average professor at UT down the street loves 9/11 and says America deserved it. There were elements in our government allied with radical Islam that helped them carry out the attack. Just like the covering up New Mexico.
Alex, you can argue whether or not America deserved it or not. I don't think
America deserved it. I'm saying the left is cheerleading it.
Wasn't your theory, Alex. Your theory was not only did America not deserve it, but the United States government knew about the attack prior to the attack and decided to stand down. A very different theory.
I don't want to spend all our time on 9/11. It's not that I'm running away from it. It's that the media misrepresents what I say about it. I believe Islamic terror and radical Islam is one of the #1 threats on the planet, probably #1. I know that there are criminals in our government like Brennan, who reportedly converted to Wahhabism. Obama helped launch the Arab Spring to overthrow our allies in Egypt, you name it. And I think that elements let this happen, like PNAC wrote, to let there be an attack to end up taking our liberties away. And I've got FBI was warned about flight schools. That's CBS News. FBI knew Al-Qaeda pilots were training in the U.S. ordered to stand down. ABC News. State Department lapses aided 9/11 hijackers. And they have the airlifts of evil flying tens of thousands of Al-Qaeda fighters out. Our military was ordered to do it. I don't blame our military. They was like, oh, you hate our military. No, I love our military.
The bin Laden family was whisked out of the United States by President Bush himself right after the 9/11 attack. And they went back to Saudi Arabia, correct?
That's right. When you had the World Trade Center go, people were put into planes that were friends, family, girlfriends, and they were put into planes and they were sent back for the most part to Saudi Arabia.
All I'm saying is there is a radical Islamic alliance with the left, and there are people in the government working to protect Islam. They got this imam that's connected to dozens of bombings. After 6 months, he's being released from British prison next week.
You said some things that I agree with. I believe radical Islam is the greatest threat to the United States, our freedom, maybe even the globe. I'll agree with that.
Maybe the left's bigger, though.
Well, I think the left is a different type of threat, and it's a longer term threat where, radical Islam could, kill a lot of people real fast. And the left, it's going to take a while for them to take over and take away our liberties and freedoms.
But I think we can deal with a straight-on attack like radical Islam. It's the left creeping around.
I don't like them either. I'm on board with that.
Well, this is video on screen of them saying Building 7 has already fallen. Have you seen that video? And it's right behind her.
Well, I can't hear her.
You want me to play it for you?
What? I'd like to hear her say it's already fallen. And by the way, Alex, anyone could throw a video, the picture behind it, a news person. That could be.
Well, she's saying Building 7 has fallen. They put the story out beforehand.
Now, more on the latest building collapse in New York. You might have heard a few moments ago, I was talking about the Salomon Brothers building collapsing. And indeed it has. Jane, what more can you tell us about the Salomon Brothers building and its collapse?
Well, only really what you already know. Details are very, very sketchy.
We are getting information now that one of the other buildings, Building 7 in the World Trade Center complex, is on fire and has either collapsed or is collapsing.
It was almost as if it were a planned implosion. It just pancaked.
Well, pancaking almost like a precision implosion.
It's reminiscent of those pictures we've all seen too much on television before, when a building was deliberately destroyed by well-placed dynamite to knock it down.
Donald Trump is on the line. I mean, we know him as the man behind lots of real estate in Manhattan. And of course, Donald, I understand you were actually a witness to what happened this morning.
Well, I have a window that looks directly at the World Trade Center, and I saw this huge explosion. I was with a group of people, and I really couldn't even believe it. And even, I think, worse than that, for years I've looked right directly at the building. I'd see the Empire State Building in the foreground and the World Trade Center in the background, and now I'm looking at absolutely nothing. It's just gone. The World Trade Center was always known as a very, very strong building. Don't forget, that took a big bomb in the basement. Now, the basement is the most vulnerable place because that's your foundation. This was an unbelievably powerful building. If you know anything about structure, it was one of the first buildings that was built from the outside. The steel, the reason the World Trade Center had such narrow windows is that in between all the windows, you had the steel on the outside. So you had the steel on the outside of the building. That's why when I first looked, and you had big, heavy I-beams, when I first looked at it, I couldn't believe it because there was a hole in the steel. And this is steel that was, you remember the width of the windows in the World Trade Center, folks. I think you know, if you were ever up there, they were quite narrow. And in between was this heavy steel. I said, how could a plane, even a 767 or 747 or whatever it might have been, how could it possibly go through the steel? I happen to think that they had not only a plane, but they had bombs that exploded almost simultaneously, because I just can't imagine anything being able to go through that wall. Most buildings are built with the steel is on the inside around the elevator shaft. This one was built from the outside, which is the strongest structure you can have, and it was almost just like a can of soup. I just think that it was a plane with more than just fuel. I think it just seemed to me that to do that kind of destruction is even more than a big plane, because you're talking about taking out steel, the heaviest caliber steel that was used on a building. I mean, these buildings were rock solid.
So I said the exact same things back at the time. It was on local news, there were bombs in the buildings. And then the media would say, Jones says the fire department blew it up. Or Jones says the military did. Never said that. I said, I saw the news. I heard the news. They said they blew it up. And then you had John O'Neill, the deputy head of the FBI, quit a month before 9/11. And he came out and said, we're going to let Al-Qaeda attack us. Al-Qaeda has infiltrated our government. And it's wrong what happened, and we need to expose it. And then he died. His first day at work was 9/11 as the head of security of the World Trade Center. And I've got the footage of the local police saying, get back, they're going to blow it up. Doesn't mean the police are involved. I talked to cops that were there during the 10-second countdown. But I don't just have that. I found the cops who were on PBS getting the countdown for Building 7. And they blew up other buildings too. And all the chaos, they're told, oh, we're going to protect these buildings. It takes days, if not weeks, to wire these buildings. Do I know what happened? No, I don't. Just like President Trump doesn't. I covered it. I was on air. I'm not going to lie to you. Now, Eric Bolling said, hey, show me the clips. Eric, we just showed you the clips. So this is a live show, but later we'll cut this out. We'll archive it to Infowars.com and Newswars.com to our own video feeds because we're censored on YouTube. And we will send this out to Eric Bolling. But you aren't banned from YouTube. You can upload this segment to YouTube, and I hope you do. Don't forget Infowars.com/show, where you can bypass the censors and go directly there and subscribe for free to the podcast of the live shows and find the live audio feeds.
We all know that the outside toxins in the water is a serious health issue. InfoWars is proud to sell incredible filters, but it's almost impossible to keep up with every faucet, shower, and sink in your home. That's why we're bringing you something to provide clean water for your whole house with one system. The ProPure Whole House Water Filtration System is an advanced 4-stage compact filtration system that will provide water filtration for your entire home, removing 220 plus contaminants from your water. It's compact in size, easy to install and maintain, and keeps fluoride and other dangerous toxins out of your water supply and away from you and your family. With its broad spectrum contaminant reduction, you'll only need this one filter for clean and refreshing water all over your home. Head to InfoWarsStore.com, and whether it's your first water filtration purchase or you're looking to replace your current rundown systems, it's time to go big and go home with the ProPure Whole House Filtration
All right, guys,
System
we got
today.
some major updates out of Syria.
The Real Red Pill Plus, ladies and gentlemen. Our team is constantly on the lookout for newer and better ways to improve our products. That's why we're bringing you a brand new version of one of the newest fan favorite products, the Real Red Pill Plus. The Real Red Pill Plus is an all-new version of the powerhouse Pregnenolone product. It features the same great formula that supports your heart, brain, healthy aging process with an all-new natural caffeine boost included. A powerful Pregnenolone base, the Real Red Pill, is going to become one of our fellow InfoWars' favorite products. Now, with an extra proprietary energy blend inside, including green tea extract, yerba mate leaf extract, and more, you can get that extra pick-me-up while supporting your mind and body in a healthy way. It's got all the great stuff that Real Red Pill has. It's also got the boost in it. Get the Real Red Pill Plus at InfoWarsStore.com. Right now is massive rampage force. Go ahead.
Alex, last night I was on with Laura Ingraham, and I had done the Alex Jones show yesterday. I'd done the War Room. She's not on until 9:40 Central. That's 10:40 Eastern. I was exhausted. I popped 2 Brain Force Plus, and I was good as new. I mean, it really is mentally stabilizing, mentally energizing. Tonight, I'm on with Tucker Carlson. The same thing. I'm going to put in a full day here at InfoWars. I'm going to go on with Tucker tonight. Thank goodness for this great product. This is my all-time favorite because it's so effective, and it doesn't give you that jacked up energy drink feeling. You know, you can sleep with it. And when you stack it with the red pill, the mind-body combination, that is the best. That supercharges your energy, your vitality. This is the best combination I have found. It really works. It's the best mineral vitamin combination I have found, and I've tried them all. I wasted a lot of money in Whole Foods, believe me.
What are champions made of? Here's a man who can show you.
Triple 825-331-39, Triple 825-331-39, Triple 825-331-39 is the InfoWars Store hotline. Triple 825-331-39, Triple 825-331-39, Triple 825-331-39 is the InfoWars Store hotline. 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 Triple 825-331-39 is the InfoWars Store. InfoWarsStore.com is simply the best. InfoWarsStore.com beats out all the rest. 888-253-3139, 888-253-3139, 888-253-3139 is the InfoWars Store hotline. 888-253-3139, 888-253-3139, 888-253-3139. That's InfoWarsStore.com.
You're listening to The Alex Jones Show. Waging war on corruption. It's Alex Jones coming to you live from the front lines of the InfoWar.
Roger Stone riding a shotgun with his former head of the Trump campaign. Mueller sharks circling him. Manafort agreeing to plea bargain, but not on Russiagate, on tax evasion 15 years ago. But everybody is ready to blow their brains out of there about Russiagate. The reason Roger's here is to get into Matt Drudge, who's got a smart political brain on his shoulders, warns of midterm bloodbath, Trump to lose 60 seats in the House like Obama did unless. But he cryptically didn't say what unless meant. And then, California professor, writer of controversial Brett Kavanaugh letter, speaks out about her allegation of sexual assault. Never told anybody till 2012, and she just said a group of frat boys were drunk and jumped on top of me for a few seconds in a bed. I think a group of frat boys beat me up a couple times, but he actually was Brett. In fact, I'm not a secret source. Brett Kavanaugh in 1986 came to Dallas, Texas, and I was in high school, and he raped me. No, I'm serious. He came in the room, it was him, he punched me right in the nose, and he raped me. And that's it. He can't be confirmed. In fact, he then opened up a black suitcase. 14 Keebler elves came out. You're thinking, hey, they're not scary, they're little. Listen, they were dangerous. They tied me down like Lilliputians in Gulliver's Travels. And they made me take DMT and PCP. And then, once I was doing that, Barack Obama flew in like a little winged pig and landed at the foot of my bed. No, I'm being sarcastic here, ladies and gentlemen. I could say secret source says that Hillary Clinton tells the truth, and you know it was a lie. I mean, this is so obvious. At least Anita Hill worked for Clarence Thomas. But then all the witnesses of her throwing herself at him. And then it never happened. So we're going to get into that with Roger before we end this segment as well. But Roger, the big enchilada first, Joe Biden, maybe we should cue up the first 20 seconds of that clip, says that Trump supporters are the dregs of society. So if deplorables hurt Hillary, this has got to hurt Joe Biden.
Yeah, I mean, Joe Biden is the world's class example of elitism. He lives in Greenville, Delaware, the wealthiest part of town, yet he tries to pass himself off as just good old regular Joe. This is a guy whose son, Hunter, got extraordinarily lucrative business deals out of both Ukraine and China in the immediate aftermath of his visiting both countries with his vice presidential father. You want to talk about collusion? I mean, Joe Biden is about as tone deaf as you can get. And this constant disparagement of Donald Trump supporters because they're working class people, because they didn't go to Harvard or Yale is really part and parcel of the elitism of the Democratic Party and people like Biden. More importantly, though, why he can't keep his hands off of children, I just don't understand.
Oh, there's hours of video, but that doesn't matter because Brett Kavanaugh raped me. Seriously, I'm going to put the headline out. Did you know he raped me?
This whole thing, this is a woman looking for her Anita Hill moment. This is her 15 minutes. Joe Biden is really one creepy guy. It's interesting because when I was in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware last week, Joe trawls up and down Rehoboth Avenue looking for adoration. He wants people to adore him. He has in the back of his mind that he's a Kennedy, whereas in truth, every single foreign policy issue he dealt with as chairman of the Senate Foreign Policy Committee, he was wrong.
No, he did a terrible job. But just getting back to this liberal professor had said that once at a party in high school, some drunk guys jumped on her for 5 seconds, and then that was it. And then now she says it's Kavanaugh. Well, I want to be clear. Kavanaugh raped me.
It's about as credible. I mean, first of all, what evidence does this woman produce? Is there another witness to this alleged assault? This is a last-ditch desperation attempt to derail what is almost certainly going to be another conservative Supreme Court justice racked up by Donald.
Well, I was about to say, I mean, this is the most classic thing ever, where you just get any leftist out of millions of people just to make something up, and then to get your husband to say, oh yeah, she told me about it 6 years ago, and then it's a done deal. This is crazy.
Well, and the performance of Cory Booker really takes the cake. I'll be honest with you. I was working on a book on Cory Booker called The Moth. That's a name given to him by Governor Chris Christie because, like a moth, he flies to every controversy with a press release, but he never actually does anything. Cory Booker is an incredibly corrupt public servant, and I have a book coming out shortly on Cory Booker that will expose all of that. I was ready to leave him alone because he's a non-entity and he's not going to be president, but now I think I have no choice.
Well, let's get to that last point, though. What do you make of Drudge saying we could lose 60 seats? Well, just because the polls showed Obama at the same point 2 years in as Trump, those are fake polls. Plus, there's this the Trump secret that a lot of folks don't want to admit they support Trump. Now they have the illegal and the dead people voting. That's their secret. So that's why we still have a chance of losing, but only because of election fraud.
Well, I got to tell you, Alex, I'm more with Matt Drudge on this, including, importantly, the word unless. The president has not framed this election. He's too busy dickering with the New York Times over their phony anonymous op-ed. He's too busy fighting over...
No, I agree. He needs to stop giving their distractions attention. So what is the unless? What does President Trump need to do right now? He needs to say they're trying to overturn the election. They're trying to kill the recovery. They're the ones in league with the Russians and others. They're allied with radical Islam. They're the frauds. He needs to get on the super offense and stir Republicans up to do the same, right?
Declassify all of the information pertaining to the FISA warrant. The way to counter the phony Russian collusion fraud is to show who was cheating in 2016. It wasn't Donald Trump and the Republicans. It was Hillary Clinton and the Obama Justice Department and FBI. Mr. President, we implore you, declassify the information pertaining to the FISA warrants. When your advisors say, we can't do that, sir, it's a matter of national security, that's a lie, a damnable lie.
Well, the matter of national security is not letting this rogue group of angry Democrats overturn the election of the American people and kill our recovery. He's got to release it now. They're not going to stop.
Right. Two messages for the election. One, talk about the economic recovery and how great it is, because the mainstream media will not talk about that, even though I think people are feeling it. And two, get the Democrats on defense by declassifying all of the information pertaining to the spying on Donald Trump's campaign.
He says he won't fire Sessions till after the election. I think that's a mistake.
Well, I agree, but we're probably past that now. So tout the economy and declassify the spying information, and you will change the whole scope of this election.
And the other unless is this, Roger. All of us got to get people to vote. We got to be politically active. We can't be asleep thinking this thing is won because they got a bunch of dead people and a bunch of illegal aliens set to vote and major election fraud with half the machines owned by George Soros. Newswars.com. Tomorrow's News Today. Roger takes over.
If you are receiving this transmission, you are the resistance.
You know, there's two different types of monarch butterflies. There's one type that takes several generations, to get all the way up to Canada. And then they've got a big one that's 3 times bigger than the other little monarchs that flies all the way back down to Mexico, to one little mountain region. And then they fly all the way back up. They fly down, have their babies die. And then it takes generations, 3 generations for the little ones to get up. And then the big one pops out and it takes them back. And that's what America is. We're the big monarch that's going to carry humanity to the stars, that God's going to use to defeat the devil. Watch. I'm sure of it all now, ladies and gentlemen. And we're now in that generation of the big monarchs. We've got to fly all the way from Canada, all the way down to central Mexico, this big, beautiful forest region, these big, giant 500-foot tall trees. And a lot of them drop out of the sky and die on their way. They fall out of the sky. I've been in Texas, and all of a sudden, big old monarchs start dropping out of the sky. And I saw that documentary, and I was like, I saw that one time when I was a kid. They didn't make it, but some of them do make it. And they make it, and they mate, and they have babies, and they die. And then it takes those little babies 3 generations in less than a year, living their life cycle, to jump to the north. And then the big guy pops, and the big guy's got to come back down. And that's what this this is right now. We're in that period. You're the big monarch. You're the big butterfly. You've got to take it all the way down. You've got to deliver it or the species dies. You can't drop the ball at this level. We're at that in-game time. And the enemy knows we're turning the tide right now. They know we're turning the tide. They can feel our spirit rising. It's scaring them because it's what they want, but what they don't have. We already have all the innate power. We already have all of it. Keys to the universe, God already gave them to us. We got to learn how to drive first. This is driver's ed. God's just waiting right there. Pass the driving test. This big blue highway right there, baby. Come on up. Just like Stranglehold. Come on up. Come on up. Come on. They want to keep you down. Oh, America's bad. America will never come back. America sucks. America's weak. You suck. You're nobody. No. You're a victim group. You're under our control. You just stay right there where you are. Oh, Alex Jones is a failure. Oh, you're a failure. Oh, Trump's a failure. No, you just go down there. They'll give you the little fluoride. How about some mercury? How about we brain damage you so we can lord over you? So if you want to see this mission continue, and if you understand they want to shut us down for a reason, then you need to financially support us. Nobody's got stuff at this level, just like our info. But you cannot put money into something that is more aggressive against tyranny and Satanist and anti-human filth. There's no organization more focused, more crazed. This is it. And we've got products that help you, help the brain, help the body, help the heart, help the info war. Win. Non-zero sum game. Planetary expansion. Everything I do is about that. And so victory is very close within our grasp right now. Now, let me stop right there. If you don't fund us, they'll have fun destroying me earlier than I think I'm supposed to be. Just remember, they say I'm failing. They say I'm going under. It's not true, but if you don't support us, we will. Right now at InfoWarsStore.com. Let's go ahead and go to Lloyd in Washington. You're on the air. Thanks for holding.
Mr. Alex Jones.
Hey, brother.
Sir.
Good, man. Thank you for calling.
Hey, I just want to say thanks for your products and everything that you're doing to try to save the country. I've tried your Secret 12, Super Male, Anthroplex, the Silver Bullet, Bio Defense, Micro ZX. It's all good stuff. Secret 12, if everybody would just drop their energy drinks and get some Secret 12, take a shot of that.
Well, that's the thing about Secret 12. Just a half a dropper has way more energy, and it's totally, people ask, why is it sweet? Real organic B12 is sweet. And exactly, if I'm super tired, I go, hey, why am I drinking coffee at 10 at night if I'm going on some show like Coast to Coast? Boom, Secret 12, 30 minutes later, massive energy. It's amazing.
Yeah, that stuff will wake you up, and the clarity of mind that comes along with that is just amazing.
You're listening to The Alex Jones Show.
Before you slip into unconsciousness.
And now, the tip of the spear, leading the fight to take back the nation. It's Roger Stone.
Welcome back. You're on the Alex Jones Show on our very special Sunday night broadcast. With so much news breaking in Washington, these late evening reports from InfoWars are really indispensable. But people need to understand that InfoWars is threatened as never before. There's a veritable war of censorship being waged against Alex Jones and the entire team here at InfoWars. You see, this is the precursor to an effort to take Donald Trump down. We saw the seeds of it in the phony but serious New York Times editorial where they talked about a 25th Amendment play to remove the president. If you've been following InfoWars, you know that we've been reporting about this literally for 8 months. The 25th Amendment is a constitutional amendment that requires that if the vice president and a majority of the president's chosen cabinet seek to remove him, well, he has two choices. He can then go quietly, or he can appeal that decision to the U.S. House of Representatives, currently under control of Paul Ryan. The point, of course, is that we at InfoWars are bringing you this story, and no one else is. That's why we need your loyal support at the Infowars.com store right now. One of my very favorite products is on sale, and that's X2. This is the best natural iodine formula that you can buy. Now, there's a big difference between Survival Shield X2 and the other iodine products that you can buy at, say, Whole Foods or even CVS or Fresh Market. And that is this. Alex Jones goes to enormous lengths and expense to get the very best natural nascent iodine on the face of the planet. And we have a more gentle price. What was normally $39.95 is $29.95. I was in Whole Foods yesterday. You'll pay $42 for their inferior iodine product. And volume-wise, you actually get more by buying at InfoWars. Nascent iodine is absolutely necessary to torque up your defenses. Your immune system has been used all the way back to the Egyptians for this purpose. So by going to the Infowars.com site now and taking advantage of this particular product, and when teamed with other great products, stacking as we call it, it's a 360 win. You're getting in the BioTrue Selenium Survival Shield Survival Pack, not only the best nascent iodine and selenium together, which help for healthy thyroid and overall beneficial to your well-being and health, but you're helping us fund the fight against the globalist censors who would shut us down. People don't understand the enormous expense of these harassment lawsuits that have been filed against Alex Jones and InfoWars. Oh, Alex Jones says nobody died at Sandy Hook. No, he didn't. That's not what he said. And anybody who could look at the actual broadcast would know that. But lo and behold, the tech left, the Facebooks, the Twitters, the YouTubes, they've removed them so they can't even be examined, which means Alex Jones is not afforded the opportunity to defend himself with truth. That's why we need you to go now to the Infowars.com site and give us your support. We're not crying wolf. We're not just churning to sell product. We are up against it as never before. While you're there, two products I highly recommend. One, Brain Force Plus, one of my personal favorites, on special now for $29.95. That's a $10 reduction. Almost 6,000 satisfied testimonials. I popped a couple of these an hour ago. That's why I can do this show while working all day, trying to finalize what will be an exciting product available on the Infowars.com store shortly. Let me talk about that. Donald Trump has had an incoming assault from Bob Woodward. Now, if you believe the mainstream media, Bob Woodward is the second coming of Christ. This man never makes a mistake. He's a crusading journalist. He is the voice of reason and truth, along with his Sancho Panza, Carl Bernstein. This is the dynamic duo of duplicity. And my book, along with Tyler Nixon, Woodward and Bernstein, the godfathers of fake news, breaks down their long history of lies and fraud. That's right. This book will be available on the Infowars.com store and elsewhere in the next 24 hours. We've kept it under wraps, but this I can tell you. Woodward lies about Watergate. Woodward lies about his personal background as a naval intelligence briefer for the Nixon White House. Who says so? The chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Admiral Thomas Moorer. Who else says so? The Secretary of Defense, Melvin Laird. But it gets worse. Woodward lied about Iran-Contra, claiming that he surreptitiously slipped into the hospital room of former CIA Director Bill Casey after Casey had been felled by a stroke, and that Casey confessed everything, and that Casey spoke of his disdain for Ronald Reagan. I knew Bill Casey. I knew Ronald Reagan. Bill Casey loved Ronald Reagan and revered him as one of our greatest outsider presidents. But here's the real rub. Not only does hospital security and military security tell us that Woodward never gained access to Casey's room, but Casey, because of his stroke, had lost the capacity for speech. And therefore, it was impossible for Casey to tell Woodward this alleged exclusive interview in which he confessed all of Iran-Contra. And then there's the John Belushi controversy. Woodward wrote a book about the beloved comedian John Belushi. My favorite part of our upcoming book is when Al Franken, yes, that Al Franken, sees that Bob Woodward is in Saturday Night Live producer Lorne Michaels' office digging on dirt on John Belushi. Franken strolls in and says to both of them, yeah, the only time I ever saw Belushi snorting coke, he's with Carl Bernstein. That's the kind of truth you're going to get from our new book, Woodward and Bernstein, The Godfathers of Fake News. And there's so much more. Numerous members of the Washington Post staff saying there was no deep throat. It's a confection, a fraud, a made-up source. So the establishment icons, Woodward and Bernstein, are about to be, shall I say, exposed. And you'll get it first here at InfoWars. In the meantime, to make sure that we can continue expanding, continue fighting, continue our fight for truth and to expose not only the truth about 9/11, but the truth about the assault on Donald Trump, for which they are trying so desperately to censor us, go to the Infowars.com store now. Pick up one of my favorite products, Stone's Rules, my new book, which is the guideline, the field manual for victory against the left. Yes, every rule you need to know is in there for success, whether you choose business, politics, tech, fashion, agriculture, it doesn't matter. These are the rules for success. And there's a very, very good price for the book if you buy it at the Infowars.com store now. So help us, help yourself, help Alex Jones in the fight against censorship, because they just keep coming. And while you're at it, folks, go to the Infowars.com site now and sign up for our podcasts, because the chain of command must be unbroken. Millions of people are signing up to get every day, and we want you not to lose our signal or our message of truth.
Extendowise, the latest product from InfoWarsLife.com, fuses all the known compounds that have been proven to be good for our hearts and cardiovascular system. And listen, everybody's got a heart. Well, actually, maybe Hillary and George Soros don't, but everybody else has a heart, and this product is amazing. So if you have a heart, you want the very best product out there that's designed to aid a healthy heart, cardiovascular system, it's Extendowise, available at InfoWarsLife.com. And like all of our products are game changers, this baby is the most souped up, awesome version the top formulators could come up with and still be affordable. It's one of the very best heart pills out there. It's Extendowise. So get some for yourself and family and friends. It's got the very best fish oil from the fjords. It's very, very pure, very, very clean, and has the EPA type that is specifically good for the heart, cardiovascular system. It's got the properly formulated type of CoQ10 and more. It is Extendowise, now available at InfoWarsLife.com.
Years ago, InfoWars Life created the powerful MycoZX formula to help you combat internal yeast. As the years went on and more toxins were pumped into the environment, our team knew we had to create a bigger and better formula to help support your gut health. MycoZX Plus is the result of the search for that formula, a unique natural formula designed to support the body's natural cleansing of yeast and fungal organisms. There's no better product to help your body fight back. MycoZX Plus helps support a healthy microbial balance in the body, supports your digestive tract, and addresses the intestinal yeast that can cause you problems if it goes unchecked. Powered by an impressive list of ingredients, including grapefruit seed extract, pau d'arco bark, and grapeseed extract, our formula is fueled by ingredients that stood the test of time as powerful microbalancing properties. Pick up a bottle of the new and improved MycoZX Plus today at InfoWarsLife.com. That's InfoWarsLife.com.
After the success of Alpha Power, we decided to make a new powerhouse vitality formula built with the female biochemistry in mind. After searching for the incredible ingredients to meet those needs, we're proud to bring you Ultimate Female Force. All Info Warriors know how important keeping up with their vitality truly is. With all the changes to diets, stress, and other outside forces, keeping your metabolism and well-being up is getting more difficult. That's why Ultimate Female Force is such a powerhouse formula. Together with Super Female Vitality or by itself, Ultimate Female Force is just what you need to help boost your metabolism and support your physical and mental energy levels. With the powerful root-based formula, Ultimate Female Force can help you reach your true peak potential. Don't wait to see what you can really do. Show the world what true female power looks like with Ultimate Female Force at InfoWarsStore.com.
Hey, by now I'm sure that most of you know that there are always big discounts and unbelievable savings on a regular basis at InfoWarsStore.com. But check this out. Now you can earn even bigger discounts at the InfoWars store by using our Patriot Points reward program. Hey, like the sound of that? It's our way of saying thank you, America, for supporting the InfoWars. Look, earning points is easy. All you got to do is go to InfoWarsStore.com and click on the Patriot Points button and sign up today. Spend $1, earn 5 points. It's that easy. So you're starting to get the picture here? This is a rewards program that gives you powerful discounts for buying your favorite products at the InfoWars store. So check it out. The Patriot Points Reward Program at InfoWarsStore.com or call 1-888-253-3139. Yep.
You're listening to The Alex Jones Show. You are listening to an Infowars.com frontline report. If you are receiving this transmission, you are the resistance. And now, your host, Roger Stone.
Welcome back. You're on the Alex Jones Show, and I'm your host, Roger Stone, sitting in for the great Alex Jones. In the last segment, we talked about Bob Woodward and his partner, Carl Bernstein, but our focus was on the lies of Woodward, lying about Watergate, lying about Deep Throat, who doesn't really exist, other than as a composite of sources, lying about Iran-Contra, lying about President Ronald Reagan, lying about former CIA Director Bill Casey, the last real patriot to hold that job, lying about the comedian John Belushi, and now lying about President Donald Trump. But what of his partner, Carl Bernstein? Well, Carl Bernstein stepped in it only last week. You see, Bernstein went forward with a breathless report on CNN saying that Michael Cohen, the former attorney for Donald Trump, would testify to federal prosecutors, including presumably Robert Mueller, that President Donald Trump knew in advance about the controversial Trump Tower meeting between Donald Trump Jr. and a Russian lawyer. Well, we now know that that meeting was A, not illegal, and B, more likely a setup, because the lawyer who met with Donald Trump Jr. Was briefed both before and after the meeting by officials from Fusion GPS, and we still don't know for a certainty what kind of visa the woman Russian lawyer got into the country on. Now, it quickly became clear when Bernstein reported this story and said that the Lanny Davis, the attorney for the Clintons, now representing Cohen, was not his source. Davis undercut him by saying, A, he was the source, and B, he was mistaken. Fair enough. You would think that a real journalist would then go to the air and apologize and retract and correct. Well, that's the difference between CNN and Carl Bernstein and we here at InfoWars. Case in point, I reported almost 10 days ago, incorrectly as it turns out, that Robert Mueller was seeking to indict Donald Trump Jr. for lying to the FBI about the Trump Tower meeting. I now know and want to report that that report was incorrect, that in fact the FBI, contrary to what my two sources told me, have not interviewed Donald Trump Jr. However, Donald Trump Jr. is in Mr. Mueller's crosshairs, not for anything relating, as far as we know, to the Trump Tower meeting, because the payments to Michael Cohen to reimburse Michael Cohen from Donald Trump's personal trust fund had to be signed off by a second executive who was an executor of that fund. That is likely to be Donald Trump Jr. I don't believe there's anything illegal or improper, because the payment to Cohen, if it was indeed a reimbursement and a political expenditure, would mean that the president is allowed to contribute to his own campaign without limitation. Consequently, this would be, at a minimum, a crime of failure to report a contribution, usually a $1,000 fine. So, my apologies to Donald Trump Jr. I was incorrect. It doesn't mean that he's not in the special counsel's crosshairs, but he's not in their crosshairs for lying to the FBI. My sources were incorrect. I have now corrected it. That's the difference between InfoWars and CNN. When we make an honest mistake based on our research, we come forward and tell you. So we've issued a retraction and an apology while still stressing that Donald Trump Jr., a great patriot, a good man, in my opinion, reminds me of the old Donald Trump who was, when he was a candidate, is still very much in Mr. Mueller's crosshairs. I wanted to get that off my chest because it's important. Truth and accuracy is important. That's what you get here at InfoWars. But make no mistake about it. When Donald Trump came out last week and said that it was necessary to take take a close look at the tech giants who have, without any dispute, been limiting the voices of conservatives and Republicans and Trump supporters, using Alex Jones as the test case, he hit it right on the head. Believe me, if Alex Jones had not raised hell, had not brought this issue to the public consciousness, the president would never have done that fateful Google search in which he figured out, to his surprise, that the top 10 stories about Donald Trump were uniformly negative. This is the greatest single challenge the movement faces. Donald Trump could not possibly have won the 2016 election without a robust, vibrant alternative media. And let's face it, Donald Trump plays Twitter like a fiddle. The more the left foams and says he needs to stop tweeting, the more I'm delighted and I enjoy every one of his entirely unfiltered tweets. But we need to be clear. If the left's campaign of censorship, if their efforts to strangle the First Amendment rights, first of Alex Jones, but then of everybody who questions the mainstream media narrative of lies, is successful, there will be no chances of victory in the 2018 election. There will be no chances of victory in the 2020 election. This is the single most important fight before us. You can argue about tax issues or immigration issues or trade issues, all of the other vital issues that face the country. But if we have no voice, if our voice is removed, then there is zero chance of victory. The one patriot who has had no lack of courage in talking about this issue is our friend Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson's had quite a week. First of all, tangling with Mike Avenatti, the dirty tricks porno lawyer, and then taking it to Jeff Toobin, the CNN legal analyst, who every other word out of his mouth is racism, racist, racism. What a joke. So here's a shout out to Tucker Carlson, because he's been unafraid to talk about the censorship of InfoWars. Why? Because Tucker Carlson understands it's a slippery slope. That if it's Alex Jones and Roger Stone and Owen Schroyer and David Knight today, who will it be tomorrow? Tucker Carlson, Rush Limbaugh, Sean Hannity, Laura Ingraham, Mark Simone, Mike Savage. These are the people that I admire, the people who bring you truth every day. Will the next person censored be Mark Levin, the great one? Believe me, it's a slippery slope. That's why I ask you again, before the end of this broadcast, please go to the Infowars.com site and look at our terrific line of products. People don't seem to understand that what gives InfoWars and Alex Jones the independence to bring you the stone cold truth, as it were, to tell it to you straight from the shoulder without any varnish, is the fact that we rely only on our own products and their sale to finance what we do at InfoWars. Whether it is the Super Blue oral product line, the toothpaste, the mouthwash, the gargle, whether it is Silver Bullet, the single best colloidal silver product that you can get on the market today, in which we use a very special electronic process that provides for smaller molecular absorption, or whether it is the new Silver Salve ointment. These are the best of their genre. For a good 10 years, Alex Jones has been fusing the very best of ancient herbal Chinese history and medicine with the cutting-edge nutraceuticals to bring you products that are without compare. Sure, you can go to Whole Foods, you can buy products there. It will sound like our products, but you'll get less of them, and the actual ingredients will be substandard compared to what we use here at InfoWars. This is our lifeblood. This is what keeps us moving forward. And if you're not in the market today, find the donate button. Send us $25, $50, $100, $500, $250, anything to help fuel the fight for freedom. We need your help. We appreciate your help. God bless you for joining the Alex Jones Show today. And victory or death.
Living in Volcano may sound more dramatic than it really is. The real drama can be found here in Leilani Estates. But a lot of us on the Big Island rely on rainwater, and we need to be concerned about ash and acid rain. Volcanic ash may contain heavy metal particles, and acid rain could lower the pH of the water to unhealthy levels. To find out, we employed a series of tests for heavy metals, alkalinity, and pH. What we learned was that there was, in fact, unhealthy levels of heavy metals and acidity in the rainwater. Next, we tested the water from our Alexa Pure gravity filter. And not only were the heavy metal levels within safe measure, but the pH was also restored to optimal levels. As it turns out, the filter on the Alexa Pure raises the pH of the water. So what we've learned is that volcanic ash and acid rain can contaminate a rainwater supply. But more importantly, a good water filtration system will purify it.
He's made it more popular, I think, to be openly racist.
Because this president, I will quote Steve Schmidt, is a stone-cold racist.
Mm-hmm. They must be really hitting this tone hard.
That's the talking point.
Yeah. So this is the
Trump just signed a thing that'll save millions of people. Racist! The economy's coming back. Racist!
All the numbers say the Republicans are going to win Congress in the midterms. Racist!
Oh my God, the giant blue wave, now a red wave, the historic Trump's dominating. Racist!
Oh my God, the Obama administration is being exposed for all the illegal activity and the abuse of power. It must be racist!
MS-13 can't torture little girls to death for Satan. Racist!
You said Valerie Jarrett looks like she's central casting from Planet of the Apes. Racist!
If you are receiving this transmission, you are the resistance. Leading a frontal assault on the lies of the New World Order, it's Alex Jones. Prepare to discard your mental blinders. Counterthink with Mike Adams, live on Infowars.com.
Welcome to Counterthink. This is Mike Adams, your host show today, airing on Infowars.com every Sunday at 6 p.m. and many affiliate radio and TV stations as well. Thank you for joining me. We've got a very special show for you today, an exclusive interview with Dr. Farah. Now, she has run a holistic health clinic in the Philippines for many years and has treated thousands of patients with holistic solutions. She gets people off the toxic chemotherapy treatments that frankly murder people with chemical weapons. That's really the accurate way to describe chemotherapy. And she helps people heal. Well, not long ago, just a few weeks ago, the Philippines government conducted an armed raid on her clinic. As she said, she described it as 50 men with AR-style rifles. I think she called them M16s, but she's not a firearms expert, so they're probably not exactly M16s. But hey, scary-looking guns to people who don't know what firearms are. And they raided her clinic. They shut her down. They threw her patients to the streets. And they attacked her using 5 institutions of medicine, the FDA in the Philippines, similar to the FDA in the United States. They used various institutions of medicine. Basically, her competition, which promotes chemotherapy and promotes toxic drugs and pharmaceuticals, shut her down. And she was death threatened. Her entire family received death threats. They said they're going to murder her family. She's married to an American. They have, I think it's 3 children. They have 3 children. And they were forced to not just flee their clinic, they were forced to flee the country. Now, remember, the Philippines is a country where the president, Duterte, has basically unleashed execution squads against drug dealers and drug traffickers and so on. And I suppose you could debate whether that is a good idea or not. On one hand, it has reduced the drug dealing quite substantially in the Philippines. On the other hand, it is executions without due process. The government actually pays bounty hunters to run around and murder suspected drug dealers without a trial, and then they collect money from the government. I mean, gee, what could be wrong with that picture? You know, people run around just killing people and collecting bounties from the government. So in any case, it's a country where due process is not respected the way it is in the United States. And so Dr. Farah had to flee the country with her family. Now, I was able to interview her by Skype for this show that you're about to see. She breaks down in tears at one point, but she is very thoughtful. She is obviously well educated, and she cares tremendously about her patients. I bring you this interview because you need to know that the attack on health freedom and medical freedom is a global attack, and that the globalists who are tied to the pharmaceutical mass poisoners and the vaccine industry and the chemotherapy industry and the psychiatric drug industry, these are globalist forces that are trying to criminalize and even murder holistic doctors, not just in the United States, but all around the world. It's Erin Elizabeth at, I think it's called Health Nut News, that has documented, I believe, over 80, maybe 90 holistic doctors that have been murdered in the last few years by the establishment because they ran clinics that were helping people heal. So that true story is now being brought to you in this episode of Counterthink. And I want you to listen carefully because you need to know that your ability to choose a natural health option, your ability to opt out of the toxic cancer industry is under attack. So here's a preview of what's coming up in this exclusive interview here on Counterthink.
My sister-in-law, she started texting my cell phone. She said that we are being raided again for the 2nd time. And then I wasn't there. I was in Manila. And then they came in with 50 guns, 50 policemen with, Armalites. I don't know what, M16s. So they came in, all the patients are all shocked. They were all crying. They were telling the policeman, please, this is unnecessary. It's like I did something wrong.
One of the most incredible
incredible cups of coffee can be found in the high mountains of southern Mexico, where the Chiapas farmers have spent years perfecting their techniques. Based off hundreds of years of traditional techniques and perfect conditions, we've sourced only the best to provide you with our immune support and Wake Up America Patriot Blend coffee. Ancient Mayan knowledge is paired with the natural fertility of the land to generate the world's finest coffee bean, carefully harvested and free of toxic chemicals used in big agricultural productions. Patriot Blend coffees have a smooth, bold flavor with great depth to give you just what you need in the morning. You can even choose to start your morning healthier with the Immune Support Blend, infused with a powerful blend to support your immune response and stamina. It's time to take care of your morning routine. Get a bag of Patriot Blend coffee to support the show while enhancing your morning routine at InfoWarsStore.com.
Warning, take the red pill before viewing. Counterthink with Mike Adams.
Thank you for joining me today, Dr. Farah. It's a real honor to be able to interview you. I know you're under intense assault by the medical establishment that's trying to shut you down. I know you're going to talk about what they've done to you, the illegal raid and so on, but start with the background. What is it that your clinic in the Philippines has been doing, and how have you been helping people over the past few years?
Well, first thing foremost is that I want to introduce myself. I'm a licensed medical doctor here in the Philippines. So only licensed medical doctors are allowed to practice medicine here in the Philippines. So it's like any other doctors in the United States. So I'm trained to practice synthetic medicine, pharmaceutical medicine. But then, unfortunately, I was born in a family of scientists. My grandfather is a scientist. And then my father is a scientist, but my father is a herbal scientist. And then when I graduated medical school and then I passed, my licensure exam, he told me, he said, daughter, I think, you should come and work for me. Of course, at first I didn't really understand because I have no background on herbal medicine or what my dad was really doing. So I said, okay, I'll give it a try.
So you were really trained in the traditional pharmaceutical modality, that the only molecules that can heal you, you were taught, were from big pharma's?
Yes, all of that. And even while I was practicing traditional medicine, because of herbal medicine with my father, I was, I didn't really believe that, I should change, the diet. I really didn't believe on vitamins, on minerals, until my own family got really, really sick. My eldest daughter had bronchial asthma, and then my husband had cough. It was recurrent. It was every month. And I was spending around $2,000 to $3,000 US every month for my children because I have given them the antibiotics, the steroids, everything. And it just, it will be gone and then it will come back again. So I didn't want to be in that cycle. And then I discovered honey and cinnamon for cough, and it changed my life. And from then on, I promised allegiance, total allegiance to natural medicine. I told myself, I promise I will protect natural medicine, whatever happens, because it really helped me a lot.
And yeah, it seems like also you didn't just leap into it with an irrational mindset. You brought your medical training and your cause-effect understanding, your scientific thinking to the world of natural medicine, looking at minerals, nutrients, natural modalities. And I mean, this is what it seems like from what you've written about in some of your videos, that you are using what works based on the evidence. You're not just saying, do all these things because they're natural world things. You're saying we're seeing results when we use these, and we're seeing very positive results in saving lives.
Yeah, and that's why I become very, very, I threatened a lot of doctors because I would see at an average in a day, I would see around 300 to 500 patients in a day. In a day.
That's a lot of patients.
And I have practiced for 16 years. So I have seen almost 150,000 patients in my life.
Now, many of these patients, as I understand it, are low-income patients. You've offered, I believe, some free services to some people, and other patients compensate you for your time. Is that how your clinic is structured?
Okay, believe it or not, I do not pay. I do not charge my patient for their consultation, and the majority of my inventions. These are all my inventions, all dedicated to natural medicine. I gave for free for the poor. So whether you believe it or not, that's how I work.
For our audience who's not familiar with your work yet, but they're learning about you, can you share or describe maybe one or two of these inventions and what they accomplish, just so people can know more?
Okay, so the first invention that my father had, it was actually my father who invented it, and it was very, very famous. It was Boston C. It was actually named after him because his name was Antonio. So he said, and everyone calls him Boston. So it's not from Boston, US. It's actually the name of my father. So it's Boston C. And this concoction, it was proven to be safe and effective and very promising when it comes to cancer, diabetes, lupus, almost all types of illnesses. And this is now the main product that the FDA is kicking me right now for.
What you're referring to is the Philippines FDA, which is, of course, not the same as the US FDA. They just share a common name. I just wanted to clarify that. And secondly, please describe, because in the United States, the FDA and the FTC criminalize people who make truthful descriptions about natural supplements that can prevent disease. For example, vitamin C obviously prevents scurvy and cures scurvy. But if you sell vitamin C and you claim this prevents scurvy, then in the United States, they can arrest you and put you in prison, which is insane, but that's the way it goes. How does the law work there with the FDA in the Philippines?
Here in the Philippines, if you have a food supplement and you have a vitamin C content of more than 150%, you're already considered a drug.
150% of the recommended daily allowance?
Recommended energy nutrient intake. Okay, and this was this is a very outdated RENI. I think this was in 1991. So it's an outdated. Okay, so and for you to be a food supplement, they will require you to put in your brand the term no approved therapeutic claims.
Right.
Okay. So if that's in your product, it has to be, if you are a food supplement, that's mandatory. It has to be there.
Did they come after you for the claims that were associated with your product? Is that what they're trying to say, that it's not substantiated?
When my father died, he had an LTO, license to operate, because before you have a food supplement, you have to have a license to operate as a food manufacturer. Okay, so it takes a while to get that. For me, it took me 3 years to get my license to operate. Okay, because I had several problems with the FDA. Okay, like the ones that I was telling you about the vitamin C content of my product, because they were upset with me. They were upset with me because I told them, how come this product has more than 150% RENI and you did not specify that this is a drug? How come my product, which is 160% vitamin C, I said, you want me to be a drug? So they did not like that. So I kept squabbling with the FDA. So finally, after 3 years, I was able to get my license to operate. The next step is for you to have a certificate of product registration. Okay, this certificate of product registration takes a while. Okay, for some, some of the people, they told me it's around 6 to 8 months, some maybe 12 months, some maybe 3 years. So it can take a while. So I have a CPR. What I did was that I paid for a CPR, for a certificate of product registration. We have all the papers put in, in the computer. And then finally, when they gave me a decision, after 5 months, they gave me a decision, they denied it. And I said, why did you deny it? I said, because all of the testing has lapsed already.
Oh,
Because
wow. So they delayed it, and then they claimed you took too long?
It took too long. That's what happened. So now they wanted
It sounds
me,
like it's rigged.
Yeah, now they wanted me again to have another reapplication. That's what we are doing right now. Then the FDA rated me.
Stay with us. We have to go to break right now, but we'll be back with more of this exclusive interview with Dr. Farah.
Over a year in the making, produced by one of the top organic firms in the country, that if you want proven studies and documentation, I mean, I can speak for hours just on the files I have here, of what this is proven to do, the ingredients in this. This is the ultimate immune system boost for this time of year, any time of the year. But Immune Wall is incredible. And folks, other formulas that aren't even as good are $70, $80. It's a great deal at $39. Immune Wall, beta-glucans, olive leaf, and so much more. It is concentrated. You need to go read what is in here. The mushroom blend of the most expensive, highest quality mushrooms that just incredibly accelerate. A citrus peel blend. I mean, this is the next level. It's now available, ladies and gentlemen, Immune Wall. I think it's beyond seasonal. Beta, glucan, olive leaf, and more. Immune Wall, InfoWarsStore.com, InfoWarsLive.com, or 888-253-3139.
Climb to the top of the food chain with Alpha Power by InfoWars Life. For those who want to increase testosterone and energy levels. Most men know that testosterone levels begin to decline starting around 30 at a rate of about 1 to 2% per year. This drop can show signs such as fatigue, low energy, low sex drive, and muscle loss. Alpha Power is packed with some of the most potent and clinically tested ingredients on the market. The secret is in the synergistic blend of ancient ingredients that have been concentrated into their most potent forms, including Uricoma longifolia, originally from Malaysia, maca root from Peru, horny goatweed from China, and tribulus from India. Reach your alpha male potential with Alpha Power. Head to InfoWarsLife.com and secure your bottle today.
Hey guys, my name is Savannah Hernandez, and if you're always on the go like me, then you're not always tied to your computer or TV. So we just released our free InfoWars official app. The InfoWars official app includes all of our live broadcasts like War Room with Owen Schroyer, Real News with David Knight, and the holy grail of podcast and radio, The Alex Jones Show. And the best part about the InfoWars official app is that every single time we go live, you get notifications so that you never miss a beat. So whether you're in the car or on a run, this app makes it easy to keep the InfoWars right in your pocket. So what are you waiting for? Download.
Not so fast, InfoWars. Apple banned your app.
I help too.
Oliver.
I hate free speech too. We hate free speech. We hate free speech. We hate free speech. We hate free speech.
One of the most incredible cups of coffee can be found in the high mountains of southern Mexico, where the Chiapas farmers have spent years perfecting their techniques. Based off hundreds of years of traditional techniques and perfect conditions, we've sourced only the best to provide you with our immune support and Wake Up America Patriot Blend coffee. Ancient Mayan knowledge is paired with the natural fertility of the land to generate the world's finest coffee bean, carefully harvested and free of toxic chemicals used in big agricultural productions. Patriot Blend coffees have a smooth, bold flavor with great depth to give you just what you need in the morning. You can even choose to start your morning healthier with the Immune Support Blend, infused with a powerful blend to support your immune response and stamina. It's time to take care of your morning routine. Get a bag of Patriot Blend coffee to support the show while enhancing your morning routine at InfoWarsStore.com.
countering the brain-dead propaganda of the status quo. This is Counterthink with Mike Adams, right here on InfoWars.
So talk about this raid. I think people are shocked worldwide to find out that you were raided. Was this, they shut you down? What did they have men with guns come in? Tell us what this was.
Okay, this is actually an illegal raid. Why? Because there's no due process. So this is what happens, okay? There is a complaint that came in, and this complaint, the FDA will show you who are your complainants. And my complainants are the 5 medical societies, okay? So these 5 medical societies, what they did is that they did some forum shopping. So they went to the PRC, which is the Professional Regulatory Commission, which gives me my license to practice medicine. But the PRC said, where are your complainants? Because you cannot complain. You have to have a patient that I damaged. And they said they cannot produce it. That's why the PRC said, no, I will not entertain this. They went to the Department of Health. Okay, now the Department of Health had an investigation, and it was dismissed because again, they did not produce the complainants, and I'm not under the jurisdiction of the Department of Health, because natural medicine is not under the Department of Health. It's not under the jurisdiction of the Department of Health. Now, they went to the FDA. Now, they saw that I had a flaw in the FDA. So what they did was that they came here, they served me the summons to answer. Okay, now the FDA will give you 10 days to answer. They will give you 10 days to answer. So I was raided on July 27. Then I was given time to answer up until August 6. Now, I answered August 6. So that time after, it was with proof. I showed it in my Facebook Live. It was all there. I was showing them everything. Now, after a couple of weeks, I was actually receiving my award for my contribution to the medical and to the medical society, not medical society, to medicine and science. So that time, I was receiving my award. My sister-in-law, she started texting my cell phone. She said that we are being raided again for the second time. And then I wasn't there. I was in Manila. And then they came in with 50 guns, 50 policemen with, Armalites. I don't know what, M16s. So they came in, all the patients are all shocked. They were all crying. They were telling the policeman, please, this is unnecessary. It's like I did something wrong. So when my sister-in-law said, what is the reason why you are raiding us again? They said that you did not answer.
How can that be? But you answered on August 6th, right?
Yeah, this is an illegal raid. And this is why I'm very, very vulnerable, Sir Mike. It's because no one has ever told this I have been telling it to my interviews with the media, but they have never mentioned it. They even said that my clinic is fake. How can I be a fake clinic? I have mayor's permit. I'm a medical doctor. I said, how can I be? And my facility is quite big. I said, and I have been a medical doctor for 16 years. If I'm a fake clinic, then I should have been shut down when I was even starting.
What they are doing to you, we call it gaslighting, and they've done it to myself and many, many others in the United States and around the world. I run a science lab, an ISO accredited mass spec scientific lab with millions of dollars of instruments, and I'm attacked, and they say that the lab is fake, even though we are accredited. So they will lie. The media will lie. They'll interview you, and they'll twist what you say. They will selectively edit what you say. One thing that you should really, I would want to share with you about this interview is to be incredibly cautious about any media that you're talking to, because most media are beholden to the pharmaceutical industry. And it seems like you're cutting into the profits of these powerful, wealthy industries. If you're helping patients prevent having to go get chemotherapy or avoid diabetes or avoid a liver transplant, for example, then you're taking money away from powerful, evil corporate entities. And that, in my view, that's why they want you shut down, because you're actually helping people heal.
My concern also is that because some of the synthetic medications, because when a patient comes and see me, some of the synthetic medications, I tell them to stop drinking it. So that's how I really, treat my patient, but not a lot. So that's what they are telling me again, these allegations, again, which are not compounded. So I think those are very, very unfair for me.
That's a red flag for the pharmaceutical industry. If there is ever a doctor, even in the United States, for example, you can lose your medical license for telling patients to stop taking a prescribed medication, even when that medication is killing them. And I have seen so many cases of somebody, let's say somebody who was maybe slightly symptomatic, maybe had some slight difficulty breathing, and then they would go to a doctor. Doctor would put them on proton pump inhibitors or beta blockers or some blood pressure medication, and then they have a full-blown crisis, near heart attack, and somehow the drugs never get blamed. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, when they go to Dr. Farah, it's Dr. Farah's fault when someone dies. But if they go to, to number one doctor in the Philippines, it must be the key. It must be, because the body did not respond. So it's very unfair, really.
I'm glad you mentioned that, Dr. Farah. You've really hit on something that is now endemic in the culture, which is the lack of patient personal responsibility for their own health, right? They want to project that responsibility to a false authority, which is a doctor who is very often bribed by the drug companies to push toxic pills. And the doctor says that it's his responsibility to diagnose you or to fix you. And then the patient absolves themselves of any responsibility. They don't watch their foods. They don't engage in exercise. They don't avoid toxins. And then, they might blame you. They might blame another doctor. They might blame a drug. But wait a second. Who made all these decisions of how to live?
Yeah, that's actually my biggest mistake. When I was still very, very young, I have the same mentality. But I realized when I was growing older, when I was seeing a lot of patients, it's really the responsibility of the patient. Your body is your responsibility. And we always have control over our situation. I have always told my cancer patient like that. I said, you are never a victim, because I do not believe that cancer is, majority is not, I think it's environmental. It's not genetic. So it's not because it's your fault that you are sick. No, your genes, it's the fault of your genes. I think we all have some form of control over what happened to our body and what will happen to our body as we go through a certain type of process.
This exclusive interview continues after we go to break. Stay with us here on Counterthink. We'll be right back.
Hey, Coulter, thanks for joining us.
Absolutely. Good to be in the bunker with you.
We're in the bunker. You're the expert on this. What would you call this period in history?
It is quite like nothing I think this country has seen before. I mean, the left, the resistance, a military term, by the way. If Trump had lost the election and, as Hillary did, said, I'm joining the resistance, they would have said this is a dog whistle to the KKK. It's a military term. And then imagine if right-wingers started beating up Hillary supporters, as we have seen left-wingers and Antifa beating up Trump supporters. I think the country would recognize we're in the middle of a fascist uprising. But no, because the fascist uprising is being cheered on and encouraged by the mainstream media, it just goes without comment. But for the resistance to suddenly act as if they don't like conspiracy theories, when when we're living through the biggest conspiracy theory of all, this Russia nonsense invented by Hillary, as she always does. So when the Democrats are caught in the middle of WikiLeaks, which was very embarrassing for the Democrats, there they were sabotaging Bernie Sanders. Democrats all over Capitol Hill were furious with
They were running Google. They were gaming everything. They were getting the questions beforehand from CNN.
And that's when Hillary concocted the conspiracy of Russia and Trump conspiring to steal the election. At the time, all the mainstream press, the New York Times, was utterly skeptical, could barely control their laughing over Hillary's conspiracy theory about Russia, saying, well, I'm paraphrasing, wow, even the John Birchers come up with something like this.
Well, yeah, they said that. They pointed out Hillary has the Russian problem with uranium one.
Oh, she has plenty of problems, including colluding with Russia for that Russian dossier put together by Christopher Steele. It was only after Trump won the election that suddenly all these respectable news outlets that had ridiculed Hillary's Russia conspiracy theory at the time, suddenly they went back and, oh my gosh, maybe there's something to this Russian business. Now they're the ones dragging this country through a completely demented conspiracy between the Trump campaign. There was no Trump campaign.
It was Donald Trump. I mean, that was it.
Exactly. He didn't have advanced men and pollsters and expensive campaign consultants. His idea was, I know, I'll fly around the country giving speeches and pushing popular ideas, and that'll win me the White House. They laughed at him throughout his campaign, and then when it worked, oh my gosh, there must have been a secret conspiracy with a campaign that didn't exist.
InfoWars Life is bringing you a breakthrough in modern medicine. Introducing Pollen Block. We have found an extraordinary new, natural way to alleviate seasonal distress symptoms, including promoting clear nasal and sinus passageways, eye comfort, and respiratory function. In the 1960s, researchers in France noticed that people who ate certain quail eggs experienced less seasonal immune and inflammatory responses. They began studying this effect in published trials, and decades later, we now have the fruit of this research, a fast-acting, chewable tablet that helps alleviate seasonal distress symptoms. Pollen Block is natural and effective. It is not an antihistamine. In fact, current research has found that it actually acts by blocking the activity of tryptase, which is an enzyme that amplifies immune and inflammatory responses in the body. Go outside and enjoy the air you breathe. Head to InfoWarsLife.com and grab a pack of our Pollen Block chewable tablets.
Exposing the corporate media assaults on your reality. It's Counterthink with Mike Adams.
We're back on Counterthink, broadcasting on Infowars.com every Sunday at 6 p.m. Central. Continuing with our exclusive interview with Dr. Farah, who had to flee the Philippines. We're told that she is now safely in the United States, so she is not under severe threat at this moment. But this story is extraordinary, and you've got to hear what she has to share in this segment. So let's continue. You seem like a person who is really the expression of love for fellow human beings. You want to show people how to heal and show them the pathway to healing. And I think you recognize that not everybody is ready for a pathway of healing. Some people are self-destructing. That's part of society. But for those who are ready and who seek you out and come to you, why wouldn't your government allow those people to choose your clinic? It's not like you're grabbing people off the street and throwing them in a chair and forcing them, do my protocol, right? People seek you out and they get extraordinary results. How can that be illegal?
I think it's quite, because the thing is with the FDA, I think with my government, because there's so much overlapping of what I do. I'm not only a merchant, because I'm also a medical doctor. And as a medical doctor, I have the right here in the Philippines to give whatever treatment I can to my patient with the highest science that I have studied. And that's what I am doing. And as a patient, you have the right to access this type of treatment. So I think my government right now, they're only focused on one thing, which is the certificate of product registration, which I am still on process right now. So they said that I violated that. They didn't think that, because you're a medical doctor, you are not entitled to that right. Your patient also, they're not entitled to that right as well. So I think in the Philippines, it's still a very young government. So there's still so many things for the government, to change with regards to their law, with regards to the regulation of some practices. Although the traditional Filipino way of treating has been here for thousands of years, I think the Filipinos still think that the conventional medicine, which started late 1800s, is the old medicine. So
Yeah, that's interesting. And you're exactly right, because people of your culture and Native Americans in the United States and Amazonian tribes and Aborigine Australians, all of these people around the world and throughout the Middle East and everywhere have been treating, Chinese medicine is 5,000 years old, and natural medicine has been observed in primates. We're talking about orangutans and gorillas and chimpanzees actually observe, this is documented science, where they find plant medicine in the forest to treat their own conditions. So this has been going on, for millions of years on our planet. Natural medicine, we've coexisted with natural medicine, and for modern people to think that no, real medicine is the synthetic pharmaceutical medicine, it's a complete upside down world.
yes, you're right. Actually, I have learned, because I was really studying because of what happened to me right now. I was really studying. Actually, the first schools of medicine are actually seminaries. They are affiliated in church. So the first physicians are actually nuns, priests, and pastors. And then when the Rockefeller came in, it changed everything. It changed the face of medicine, and it became, it flourished. It became money wise. It became financial. The financial gain has become it has intensified because of the Rockefellers.
Wow, you know your history. That's extraordinary, and you're right that there was an attack on chiropractic medicine by the American Medical Association in the United States. And by the way, the American Medical Association was tied with the tobacco companies, and they ran full-page ads for big tobacco. Smoke cigarettes. Doctors recommend Camels more than any other cigarette. This was the American Medical Association, and they said, don't go see a chiropractor because that is dangerous, but here, smoke these cigarettes. That's good for you.
Yeah. It's actually ridiculous. And that's why when I did my FB live, I was telling, all of my followers, I said, I'm not only fighting for myself. I'm also fighting for those chiropractors, because they are also doctors. Because here in the Philippines, they think they're just quack doctors also. The chiropractors, the herbal medicine, acupuncturist. I said, these people have studied. They have, invested so much time in their craft. And I think that all of them should have been given a chance to practice what they have learned.
Freaking their
I want
instruments
to
are
ask you about
dipped in
some action
egg
items
yolk.
that people can take to support you. But first, I have a very powerful warning message for your fellow citizens in the Philippines. And that is that if your country does not embrace physicians such as yourself, who have affordable, effective, low intervention, very low risk natural medicine that works, if they don't embrace that, the pharmaceutical medical model will bankrupt your country, as it is bankrupting America. America's over $21 trillion in debt. States are going bankrupt, like Illinois and New Jersey and New York and California. And nearly all of that, and pensions are going bankrupt all across the country. I don't know if you're aware of this, but cities are in bankruptcy. Most of this is because of healthcare costs, and most of that is pharmaceutical monopoly priced toxic medicine that doesn't solve the problem but keeps patients taking more pills to generate more profit. it will bankrupt America. It is already doing so, and it will bankrupt the Philippines one day if the Philippine government doesn't realize this.
You're right. I hope it doesn't happen here, but I don't know.
Let's get to some action items, because I think people want to support you and they want to spread the word. So let me just ask you a few basic things. Number one, what's your main website that people can share?
My main website is Dr. Farah Online.
drfarah.online?
drfarah.online. Yeah.
Okay.
And drfarahcancercenter.com.
drfarahcancercenter.com. Okay. We'll put that on the video. Also, I understand you're launching a GoFundMe campaign, so we will add that graphic to the screen as well.
Okay.
If people were to donate money to your cause here, how would you put that to use to help protect natural medicine for your patients and your country?
I would actually support a lot of herbalists here because they have no support. They're, the herbalists here in the Philippines, they're also very intelligent. It's like, I just don't understand all of these doctors. It's like, I think they have such this status, that they think that they are above everyone else. I said, that's not... When I was studying med school, we would always pray. And because we believe, at least me, because I studied at St. Louis University. It's a school for, run by the priest, and we would always pray. And then we would always associate doctors, synonymous to Christ, which is the ultimate healer. And somehow, I don't know what happened. Somehow, I'm here where the doctors are shaming me, the doctors are attacking me. And I want that to stop. I want to encourage the Filipino herbalists. I want them to, to also, spread the word that, herbal medicine is also a science. And that's, if people will allow me, I would do that. Second is that I would give it to my patients who are very, very poor. Because here in the Philippines, as it's a third world country. And not a lot of Filipinos can afford natural medicine. So most probably the money that will be, donated in this GoFund will go to my patient because they really need a lot of help.
We're going to break right now here on Counterthink. We'll be back after this break with more of this exclusive interview with Dr. Farah.
Now! They think you're a goldfish. I've been betting on you my whole life. I believe in you. I don't think you're stupid. One man ever raped a woman, all genitals were cut off, and we're kicking these traitors' asses politically, and we're not backing down ever. I want to get these people. We're winning. I can feel the spirit rising. Can't you? We have broken their back. Yes, I can feel it. Let's go! Come on, 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 come on! Vengeance is coming! Fire is coming! The real revolution against you is coming! And you will burn in hell! Look at that. Everybody else is just like yellow or clear. That's because it's been denatured, it's been watered down. We didn't do that. You think I would metaphysically sell you something that is the very best I can get? I'd rather go to hell than do that. I will only give you the maximum best info, the maximum truth, the maximum product, because I want that goodwill. What I do to you, I do to myself. Don't you get the big secret? You ever seen fish oil look like that? No, you never seen that, have you? And this little jewel right here is solid liquid consciousness. Look it up. Find out how even the FDA and the government admits fish oil is incredible. The number one thing anybody can do for themselves is take good fish oil or krill oil. Just like our information is dynamite, so are our products. InfoWarsStore.com. The Real Red Pill Plus, ladies and gentlemen. Our team is constantly on the lookout for newer and better ways to improve our products. That's why we're bringing you a brand new version of one of the newest fan favorite products, the Real Red Pill Plus. The Real Red Pill Plus is an all-new version of the powerhouse Pregnenolone product. It features the same great formula that supports your heart, brain, healthy aging process with an all-new natural caffeine boost included. A powerful Pregnenolone base, the Real Red Pill, has quickly become one of our fellow InfoWarriors' favorite products. Now, with an extra proprietary energy blend inside, including green tea extract, yerba mate, leaf extract, and more, you can get that extra pick-me-up while supporting your mind and body in a healthy way. It's got all the great stuff that Real Red Pill has, but it's also got the boost in it. Get the Real Red Pill Plus at InfoWarsStore.com.
Fueling your body is hard work. That's why we've introduced the InfoWars Life Daily Digestive Pack to help you fuel it right. Combine Flora Life Everyday Maintenance and Carnivore to help you fuel your gut and body and take advantage of the powerful nutrients you receive. There's no better way to power your body. Flora Life is a powerful probiotic supplement with 20 of the most potent clinically studied probiotic strains. When paired with Carnivore, our incredible enzyme formula that helps you break down nutrients, these formulas fuel your gut and your body to help you fight toxins and stay fueled all day. These incredible formulas can help keep your body in tip-top shape in the fight against stress, age, and outside toxins. There's no better time to try Flora Life and Carnivore to see how well they can support your body. Don't miss out on the chance to fuel your body and support recovery. Try the InfoWars Life Daily Digestive Pack today.
Prepare to discard your mental blinders. Counterthink with Mike Adams is now live on Infowars.com.
And we're back on Counterthink, continuing our interview with Dr. Farah, who had to flee the Philippines due to an assault by the government on her holistic medical clinic. Let's continue and learn about medical tyranny in our world that's run by globalists with big pharma ties.
A lot of people, all of my patients, they have been calling FDA, they have been calling the president, they have been calling a lot of people. And sad to say, no one really listens. You know, the only one who really listened to me, because I went to Congress, I was knocking at the doors of the representatives. There was one, only one, who told me, and I said, "Sir, do you think what I'm doing is wrong?" And he said, "No, you're like Jesus. You heal during the Sabbath day." And he's the only one who really understood what I'm doing. But I've been knocking on doors. And I was telling people, I'm not doing this for myself. I'm doing this for the sick. No one listens. No one listens. That's the sad part.
You know, I'm so sorry that they're putting you through this. It is inhuman. It is based on greed and arrogance and a deeply ingrained evil, frankly, that the medical system is now founded on, that is to deny people access to healing and to criminalize those such as yourself who simply wish to help others. It's an affront against humanity as far as I'm concerned.
Let me see something.
Death threatening you.
All the time.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not unusual. See, you're becoming popular, you're becoming effective. You've got millions of followers on Facebook. We had 2.5 million, and then they cut us off. They banned my entire YouTube channel after 10 years, 350,000 YouTube followers. I posted a video about CBD oil helping a woman overcome stage 4 cancer. When that video went live, they banned my entire channel and wiped out the entire history.
When you ran that story on us a week or so ago, they wouldn't let us promote it. They said that we were promoting illegal drugs.
Yep, that's what they use. What do you want to say to people who are watching this and they're just outraged and they can't believe this is happening? How do you shock them out of their slumber into a point where they will take action and they will call your FDA and say enough is enough? You know, they'll call their representatives in your government and say you've got to help Dr. Farah.
They have been doing that, Sir Mike. The problem is, I think it's because the Philippines is not really that, equipped or prepared for people like me. Because my patients, the 3 million followers I have, it's not incessant. They have been calling the government. And you know what they did? The FDA did? Because everyone was calling them. They have to shut down their telephone for like 2 days, 1 to 2 days. Because there was just a lot of phone calls. And the same thing with, we've sent a lot of emails. It's just I'm losing hope. I don't see anymore. That's what I told my husband. I don't see the light, in the tunnel. I cannot see any ray of light. That's why I have been crying for 3 weeks now. Imagine 3 weeks and it's still for motion for reconsideration because, we have to go through the process again.
In the 1980s in the United States, there was an organization known as the Life Extension Foundation, LEF. And I've interviewed the founder. He was raided at gunpoint by the FDA in the United States in the 1980s. There was such an outcry, and he was able to organize a push for a new law, just brand new legislation. And it ended up being called DSHEA, D-S-H-E-A, means the Dietary Safety, Health, and Education Act, I think. And DSHEA made it so that the FDA could not regulate supplements, could not stop them, could not prevent them. As long as the supplements did not make health claims, they were protected. And that has been the basis of the supplement industry ever since in the United States. And so I'm just wondering if there are any parallels where is it a possibility that the people of the Philippines could really rise up and say, we have to protect access to supplements?
I think in the future that will happen, but right now, I don't see it happening. My patients right now, they're actually organizing a rally. They're organizing a rally in front of FDA, and it hurts me because they are very, very sick. The patient that I really see are stage 4 cancer patient, the ones that the doctors doesn't want to touch anymore. The ones that the hospital has turned away. These are my patients. And I don't want them to be outside of FDA rallying for me because I have been knocking indoors. I have gone through at least the 3rd highest position here in the field.
Well, I think a rally is exactly what needs to happen, frankly. And I might even recommend what we call a die-in rally, where people stage mass deaths. They lie down on the sidewalk in front of the FDA and they carry a sign that said died from cancer, and someone else has died from diabetes, someone else has died no access to natural medicine. People can stage a die-in and just send a message that, hey, our lives are at stake, we count, and we demand access to natural medicine.
You don't want to lay on the ground over there, dude.
That's what they are doing right now. Yeah, but on my end, I have already stopped going to politicians. I really do not know where to go right now.
Well, I almost hate to tell you this, but this is a long battle. You're just beginning the fight, frankly, and it will test your spirit, and you'll find out, really how strong you can be in this process, both of you, because husband and wife go through this together, but it will also make you stronger and make you more certain in your belief system, because now you know what's at stake. Now you know that how actively they're trying to suppress this healing technology or healing modality.
Yeah, if you have been, 9 pharmaceutical company, it's actually funny at the same time because it's like somehow flattering, but I just cannot believe it. I did not see that I will be going up against 9 big pharmaceutical company.
There is an entire black ops smear campaign. Monsanto alone spends $1 million a year to smear myself and another woman called the Food Babe. That's $1 million a year just to destroy our reputation and spread lies about us and false information. And then Big Pharma, that's another story. So we've got Merck, Eli Lilly, and all these other companies. They run dark ops campaigns. And what they do is they'll smear you on Wikipedia, they'll smear you in the press, they'll have false allegations against you. I mean, it is a massive barrage of weaponized disinformation. So just prepare yourself, because if you fight for health freedom, they target you in every way they can.
Well, I pray for you. I will pray for you, Sir Mike.
Well, likewise, I'll pray for you. And if I'll say this too, if for some reason you have to flee, if you have to get out of the Philippines, if you come to the United States, come to Texas. We will have a place for you. I mean, if you need our assistance, we can make that happen immediately.
We appreciate it. Yeah, we appreciate it. Thank you very much.
So there you have it, folks. The full interview with Dr. Farah. Shocking, mind-blowing information. Share this interview. Help support InfoWars. Help support counterthink.com. You can go to counterthink.com and see more episodes. Help support my video platform called Real.video that also carries InfoWars videos as well as these Counterthink episodes. Every episode is there. Nothing gets banned on Real.video from our channels. We have to ban a few like violent videos and things, but almost nothing gets banned there. So join Real.video if you want to have free speech. It's the alternative to YouTube. Just go to Real.video, sign up. It's free. You can start using it right now. You can watch videos like this one, and 30,000 other videos are now live, including, 1,000 plus from InfoWars. So check it out. It's all at Real.video. Thank you for your support. Continue to tune into this show every Sunday at 6 p.m. on Infowars.com or your local radio affiliate or TV station where you're watching right now. This is Mike Adams. Thanks for tuning in. Take care.
He's made...
It's now only 50 days out from what undoubtedly will be the most historic election in world history. Getting Trump in was only the fluke. It was only the beachhead. You see, the globalists hope it was a fluke. It really wasn't. Populism and nationalism is exploding across the globe as we speak. Thanks for joining us on this live Sunday, the 16th day already of September 2018. I am Alex Jones, your host. And let's get battened down here. Batten down the hatches, because we'll have the latest hurricane news as it deluges the Carolinas in record floods, obviously. But the big flood is the diarrhea of the mouth coming out of the reanimated corpse, the perfect rotting edifice of the corrupt Democratic Party. Joe Biden refers to Trump supporters as dregs of society. The video's up on Infowars.com, but then it gets better. Oh, it gets better. He talks about the men in white hoods with torches are coming. He's talking about the Democratic Party. And the Republicans want to have the KKK enslave black people. I mean, it is unbelievable. But this is the guy they have planning to run against Trump in 2 years. I mean, look, Joe Biden looks like a dead body that Frankenstein electrocuted and it stood back up on its hind legs. So we're going to be playing all of this coming up today and a lot more. Our favorite socialist dingbat, when she's not caught out wearing $3,600 outfits, says she wants $40 trillion of free stuff for the American people. even though the entire global elite themselves don't even have $10 trillion. They're the ones, by the way, backing her. But when she was confronted even by liberals that, well, there's only, $2 trillion out there in discretionary money, she just said, well, I don't care what you say. We're going to do it anyway. So that's amazing video. But let's get to this first piece, and I'll play the larger piece when we come back from break. This is Joe Biden jumping the shark, going further than saying just that Trump supporters are deplorable. No. He says Trump supporters are the dregs of society. Have you looked in the mirror at the poor, sad saps conned by the Democrats? I mean, they are the dregs. And then the scum of society, the worst, the Count Draculas of society, are ruling over this throng of pathetic slaves. Here he is.
Despite losing in the courts and in the court of public opinion, these forces of intolerance remain